Who dey? Hopefully not the Packers. Hopefully not the Packers. Jeff was already in the comments here asking, do we have any chance? I think we do, Jeff. I think we do. I'll explain here in a second, though. But I want to go ahead and make you guys aware. I don't know quite what's up, but I woke up this morning and I felt fine, but throughout the day I've kind of progressively, felt like I came down with something. It's Flacco fever. Also an actual fever. I think I actually, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit better now, but I'm not gonna lie that I don't know how it's like I don't know how my brain's gonna do today. It might be a little bit slow on the uptake on some things, and I might be my reactions might not be as on point as they usually are. But so I really am feeling positive about Joe Flacco for what it's worth. Like the Flacco fever thing was a joke, but I see that made you laugh, Jeff. I'm happy. But I actually do feel good about Joe Flacco. And I do think that we have a shot against the Packers. Obviously, I'm predicting the Packers to win because I need to see something out of this football team that gives me some hope before I start picking them again. I don't even really know how to say I think the Bengals are going to win a football game after the way they played the last 3 weeks, right? But I do think Joe Flacco could make a difference, and I'll tell you why. Has any of y'all been? I see Mikey, you're in the chat, and you heard me talking about it. But have any of y'all watched the Browns today, but also all fucking year? Because I was a little worried about Joe Flacco's stats and stuff, and we traded for him. Is he actually going to be any good? I don't know. But this is a guy who took the Browns to the playoffs a couple of years ago. Had a good run at taking the Colts to the playoffs, almost taking the Colts to the playoffs. And won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Obviously, that was like when Jesus was still alive. So he's a very old person. He's a very old human being to be playing NFL football. But he was a first round draft pick, and he is potentially, I don't want to talk about first round, first ballot or anything like that, but he is potentially a future Hall of Famer, depending on, if he takes the Bengals to the playoffs, he'll probably make it one day, like veteran committee type of selection or something like that. But I mean, you never know. But I do think he's a good quarterback. I do think he's particularly good at getting the ball to high-end weapons. And if y'all have watched the Browns at all this year, you know that the Browns do not really have high-end weapons. They theoretically have high-end weapons, like David Njoku is a really, really, really good tight end who's been in the NFL for a very long time. Jerry Jeudy was a former first-round pick, and he's got talent. But, dude, the drops and just the inability to get any separation in on for the Browns in a lot of cases. Their offensive line hasn't been good, and people keep pointing out that as a parallel between the Bengals and the Browns. But the Bengals, other than a weird game against the Vikings, the Bengals' weapons are not what the Browns are dealing with. Joe Flacco, people keep bringing up the stat, particularly Tom Grossi. Keeps bringing up the stat, and he's getting on my nerves. But he keeps bringing up the stat about how Joe Flacco is is like Jake Browning and Joe Flacco are the two worst quarterbacks in the NFL in terms of interceptions. But if you go look at a lot, here's the difference between Joe Flacco and Jake Browning's interceptions. When you watch all of Jake Browning's interceptions, it's just because he's not paying any fucking attention, and he's just throwing it to what the hell? Where were you throwing it there? What was the point of that? With Joe Flacco, a lot of his interceptions have been, Browns receivers dropping the ball and then doing it in a way that, causes an interception. And, that's not to say that, Flacco's, playing at an elite level necessarily or anything like that, but he's playing well enough that if the team plays well around him, the Browns should have been better. Especially because they say he's a really quick learner, and he's already played and beaten the Packers, and so he's kind of got a feel of how to do that right now. I have a feeling that I'm not predicting the Bengals to win, but I do have a feeling that the Bengals are going to come out and look a lot more competitive. And at the very least, maybe the Bengals are a team worth watching the rest of the season, even if it doesn't turn out to be a good season because Joe Burrow got hurt, right? John says, "Hopefully, I feel better." Thank you, John. I'm feeling okay. I just I was feeling really rough earlier, but I got like some ginger tea, and my wife made some good ginger pork. Lots of ginger, and that and some ibuprofen. Then I'm feeling a little bit better. I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's like allergies or something, like mixed with one or two other things. I had a piece of sawdust go in my throat yesterday that like because I got my new chainsaw and I was messing with it and didn't have a mask on, so I don't know if that had something to do with it. But yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm warning you guys, letting you know that like my brain may or may not be at like my normal clip, right? And I may not be reacting the same way that I react to some of these games, but I will try to do my best. I got ref and defense fever. No, you have no. That's the opposite of what I'm saying, Mikey. You have ref and defense cancer. I've got Flacco fever. In a way, I'm joking, but I'm kind of actually genuinely excited about seeing what Joe Flacco can do. And like maybe he sucks, maybe he sucks, and we don't win this football game, and we end up having a bad rest of the season. But at least they gave me a reason to like watch this team, man. Like if we lose, right? But like I didn't even really want to watch anymore with Jake Browning playing. Like it didn't even seem worth it. Like what's the point? Like this team obviously is just straight garbage. And they're not. Like the defense, like bless the defense's heart. The defense has generally been playing okay this season. They've just been getting sandbagged by a completely castrated offense that like was built around Joe Burrow doing his thing, and to be clear, Joe Flacco is not going to do anything like Joe Burrow, but Zach Taylor can potentially change the offense to feature what Jamar Chase is capable of and what T. Higgins is capable of, instead of focusing on the quarterback being the hero, right? The offensive line's pass protection has been, better than people give it credit for this year. It's the run blocking, which has been awful. Like, people talk about how bad the offensive line is this year, but really, the run blocking is really the thing that's been notably bad about the offensive line. Yeah, there have been a lot of sacks, but like, in a lot of cases, Jake Browning needed to throw the ball away a lot sooner than he did. And then obviously we know how Joe Burrow's style kind of creates pressure and everything like that. So I'm not as worried. Although apparently Dylan Fairchild is inactive today, so that's not great. We're gonna have somebody other than Dylan Fairchild at left guard, and that's a position that I'm not feeling confident about at all without Dylan Fairchild. So it is going to be an interesting game. And also, since Micah Parsons is on that side, I don't know. We'll see. 9-23. What, the Saints, right? The Saints lost 9-23. Yeah. I don't know, the Browns. The Saints lost. The Saints actually were pretty close. They had a shot in that game. Like the skeleton of a win was there. They just, and I know the refs and everything like that, but I think, as Mikey said on his stream, it wasn't, like the refs made a notably bad call, but there were a lot of opportunities the Saints had to take control in that game, and they just didn't. So, it sucks, but that it is what it is too. Seahawks beat the Jaguars 20-12. Broncos beat the Jets 13-11. I thought the Jets were gonna. I was like, I don't hate the Broncos, but I was rooting for the Jets to win that game just for the chaos factor. But it didn't happen. Colts beat the Cardinals 31-27. I'm a little surprised it was that close, but it looks like the Cardinals had a bit of a comeback and couldn't quite finish it off. Chargers beat the Dolphins 29-27, and that would have been funny if the Dolphins could have won that game. But alas, no such luck. As Mikey and Richard and perhaps others know, the Patriots beat the Saints 25-19. Steelers, as John was saying, beat the Browns 23-9 because the Browns are fucking garbage. The Panthers beat the Cowboys. I turned that game off. Wow. Garbage ass fucking Cowboys, huh? And just like that, the Panthers are 3-3. The Carolina Panthers are 3-3, y'all. Good God, the Panthers might be might end up this year being the team to potentially challenge the Buccaneers. Like, what's even the standings in that division right now? As we're about to get kickoff, by the way, and the Packers are going to get the ball first, just so you know. That division, the Buccaneers are at 4-1. Okay, so the Panthers probably aren't going to really challenge, but you never know. But the Panthers are number 2 in that division right now. All right, kick is away. And that's going to be returned about the 7-yard line, and he's going to get it down. Oh, come on. Ugh, boy, he gets it out to about the 38-yard line or so before he gets taken out. That's not the way you want to start. I mean, here's the thing, man. If we lose to the Packers, it's which sucks because the Packers are a very good football team, so... to be hanging how we feel about the season on this game is unfortunate, but we put ourselves in this position. But if we can beat the Packers, and then we can beat the Steelers next week on Thursday Night Football, by the way, make sure to tune in for Who Dey versus Who Dat. But if we can beat the Packers and then we can beat the Steelers, then we're in control of the AFC North, right? Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, and he's got a wide open man, and... I'm over here talking about potential scenarios if we win this game. Good, we got to fucking cover somebody first. Romeo Doubs got like a 30-ish yard catch there, I want to say. Let's see. It was absolutely terrible pass rush there. Like, they got through the offensive line, but they still got shoved around into places where they weren't going to make much of a difference. From the 45-yard line now, Jordan Love's going to hand the ball off, and that's going to be Josh Jacobs, who picks up about 3 yards on the run. And, I mean, it's good to hold him to only 3 yards, but you got to stop the pass, too. Interestingly enough, these are some somewhat problematically injured football teams right now. Obviously, the Bengals missing Joe Burrow. But the Packers, missing their kicker, Brandon McManus. Hold on. 2nd and 7 from the 42-yard line. Jordan Love's going to take the snap, rolls back, throws, and that's knocked away. Good play there by DJ Turner to not let that play be completed. Brandon McManus, the kicker, is hurt today and not playing, which is interesting opportunity for the Bengals. I mean, like, if you can hold them to a field goal here, maybe the backup kicker misses the field goal. I don't even know who their backup kicker is, to be honest with you. Who's the other guy? Devontae Wyatt. He's another starter. He's like a defensive tackle, I believe. He's not playing. So those are some potential opportunities for the Bengals, but obviously the Bengals have their own situation they're dealing with. 3rd and 7 from the 42. Can you stop them here? Can you get off the field? That'd be great if you could, but not with the pass rush like that. Jordan Love's going to keep it himself, and he gets the first down. Garbage, dude. Just garbage. Joseph Osai is just getting absolutely worked over there. Thinks he's... He seems like he thinks he's getting a pass rush, and when in reality, he's actually just getting, ushered away from Jordan Love to the other side of the field. Or the other side of the pocket. All right, well, 1st and 10 from the 35. It's not great. Jordan Love's going to hand the ball off, and that's not Josh Jacobs. Whoever he is, gets about 2 yards on the play. They're probably going to give him 3. It's 25. Wilson, which is Emmanuel Wilson. Okay. 3rd-year running back out of Fort Valley State University, apparently. Not Josh Jacobs. I have the Browns game on now. What? The Browns... What? Browns game's over. How do you have the Browns game on? Or was that earlier? We go in, we ram, we score, we ram. You beat the Ravens, so I'm happy with you right now. All right. And Josh Jacobs is going to take that handoff. He picks about 5 Gets tripped up quickly, but manages to stay on his feet and basically crab walks his way to 5 yards. You saw that fumble, right? Yep, that's what I was talking about earlier. You got to beat the refs, which we couldn't do. Well, that and the Saints had opportunities, and but I agree with you. That definitely should have been. That should have been down. That should not have been. And you can make the argument, but because it was called down on the field, that's the main thing. All right, Josh Jacobs is going to get another handoff, and the Bengals stop him, so they're going to hold the Packers to most likely a field goal attempt here. Happy Sunday, Daniel Barry. What up, y'all? I'm going to go out on a limb and pick Cincy to pull it off by a reversal of your score, 27-24 for the good guys. And you know what, Jay? If you're right, fuck my prediction. I desperately hope you're right. I really don't want to be correct here. I don't know, man. Standings, depression, definitely for Saints fans, for sure. You're lucky if the Bengals make it this close. I don't know about that, Jim. I think this team's going to, hang in there a little bit. 4th and 1, the Packers going to go for it, and they get it. Barely, but I think they did clearly get it, though. No, just saw the Aints lost another shock. Lost, not a shock. Yeah. Wasn't their best game. And they got screwed by the refs, but it also wasn't their best game. Looks like they're going for it on 4th and 1. Yep, they got it. They sure did get it. First and 10. Packers keeping their drive alive, and this defense is better than it was last year, but they still... Jordan Love's just going to keep it and run with it himself, and he picks up about 8 yards. This is painful. Hopefully the offense is better, though, because, that's one thing I've noticed with this defense is they tend to warm up and play better down the stretch. So hopefully the offense is better, and we can actually keep up with them this time. Love to see the Pack lose, but at home, not likely. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think Joe Flacco is going to help our offense substantially. Is it going to be enough to beat the Packers? I don't know, but I think it's going to help. Packers going to hand the ball off Josh Jacobs, and there you go. Bringing him down in the backfield, and that's going to make it 3rd and 6 now, should be. That call sucks, but when you give the Patriots 3 touchdowns off 4 possessions in the first half, what do you think was going to happen? That's kind of what I'm saying. That was a bad call. That was for sure a bad call. I think we can all agree that at the very least, like I said, you could call it either way. Honestly, looking at the replay, I think you could basically make the justification either way. But considering it was called down on the field, the fact that it was reversed in the booth, that's the part that I take issue with. All right, 3rd and 5. Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, and he's rolling all the way back so he doesn't have to take any pressure, and he still does take pressure. And it's going to be intercepted! Let's go! Off the ricochet, it's going to be Geno Stone taking it down to the 35-yard line where he picks it up. Let's go! Woo! There you go. That's what we need to see out of the defense, baby. Let's go! All right, let's see if Joe Flacco can get this offense to do something. Jordan Love managed to get himself far back enough to get rid of a lot of pressure. And why was Trey Hendrickson all the way down the field, by the way? They dropped Trey Hendrickson in coverage on that play. And he was down basically in the fucking end zone. Oh, jeez. I don't like to see that. But I do like to see the interception. That's big. That's big. That's what this defense is capable of. And they may not... Like I said, and that's the thing. The other thing is they play better down the stretch. So they kind of warm up and they get better. And if you're already starting off with an interception, that's pretty good, man. That was tipped. I believe it was Cam Taylor-Britt who tipped that pass. Let me see if I can real quick go back to it. I don't want to miss any action. Jordan Love, shotgun snap, running around. Great pressure by Myles Murphy to eventually get to him, or that might have been Cam Sample. Okay, so it was DJ Turner, actually, who tipped that ball. And I was feeling good because it was going to hold him to 4th down and force a field goal. Luckily, Geno Stone had the wherewithal And that's to be honest, that's what we brought Geno Stone in to do, right? Because that was the only reason that he was considered to be a really good free agent, is because he had that one season with all those interceptions, right? So if he's getting interceptions for us, that's good. It's really useful, man. That's really useful. All right, well, all right. I mean, this game really could, I don't really know what to say about this game. My gut feeling is that the Packers win, just because I can't pick the Bengals until they show me some fucking life, dude. But they already look like they're about what I was expecting. The defense is looking about what I expected, right? The defense is looking like they're going to let you march down the field, but they also might get some turnovers. And luckily, in this case, they got a turnover in a really key situation. Would have been great if that could have been returned for a touchdown or something. But, I'll take the interception. I will absolutely take the interception. Let's go, Jeff. Let's go. That's what we need, stuff like that today, man. If we could take down the Packers and we can beat the Steelers next week, we're in control of the division. Fuck that whole we just win 5 with Flacco, and then you can you get Joe Burrow back. I mean, obviously you're still thinking about Joe Burrow coming back, right? But if you can win the next 2 games, then you're in the lead of the division, and all you got to do is just stay on top, right? What if a streamer's chat is frozen, it's working, but don't think he sees it? Is there any way the chat can tell him? Oh, I would think the chat's probably not frozen. Just because the feed is frozen doesn't mean the chat is. All right, Flacco's going to do the jet sweep here to Jamar Chase, and that gets blown up all the way in the backfield. That did not work at all. That was a very poorly executed play, so no such luck on that one. Doesn't help when Chris Olave makes the Browns wide receivers look elite. No, that's the opposite, Mikey. The Browns wide receivers make Chris Olave look elite. As bad as he played today, the Browns receivers, trust me, are worse. Buccaneers interception. Are you rooting for the Buccaneers? Yeah. I'll get back to that in a second. It's going to be a handoff of Samaje Perine, and I don't... Just sling it, man. Let Flacco sling it, man. I don't know. That gets blown up in the backfield, too, so it's going to be 3rd and 13 now. And I don't really like this play calling. Not usually big on, calling out Zach Taylor for his play calling, because I think that's overdone pretty severely. But right now, I'm not sure about this play calling. Ain't Stink just like every year, replaced quarterback and 5 players on defense, was paying attention to Ravens-Rams. Yeah, I was mostly watching Ravens-Rams, but that's partly because I didn't get the Saints game. Yeah, I don't know what the play calling is right now. I'm not a big fan of that. Flacco's going to throw. He's got Jamar Chase, and he's not able to get anywhere near the first down marker, but it is good to see. It is very good to see. And, I should be upset because it's 3 and out, and on some level I kind of am. But it's good to see somebody out there throwing balls accurately to open wide receivers, right? Hopefully the defense can, hold the Packers down again, and even if they can't, maybe just let Flacco throw the ball more and we have a shot, right? That's my takeaway from that, even though I should be really upset about the 3 and out, but, at least Flacco looks okay. I think that's going to be a holding or something on the Packers. So that was a great punt by Ryan Rico, and on top of that, I think they're going to get they're going to get called back too. So let's see what they call here, because Bengals player just got totally tumbled on that. Holding on the Packers, right? That's going to back them up and give the defense really good field position. I'll say that's one thing. Ryan Rico has not been great punting this year, right? He's had some good ones, but he's had a lot of bad ones. So we need him to step it up too. I mean, he's had plenty of practice. So he should be better than he is, you would think. I don't know. Here's hoping Jake's mature enough to take this benching and demotion like a man. I'm sure he is, Jay. There was that whole press conference and everybody's criticizing him for the way he's talking. And honestly, the way I read that, because I read the full quote and I listened to his press conference, and yeah, he's pissed, but he should be pissed. He even said he should be pissed. If he's not, if he's not pissed, then he doesn't, like any NFL player would be pissed if you get benched. Like just because it's your own fault. And I don't think I don't think he's trying to deny that he was, somewhat to blame. I think what he was saying was there was a lot of other stuff also happening, which I think is his way of like coping and stuff like that. Like I just think the way that like Jay Morrison basically just went out of his way to sabotage Jake Browning with the way like he was kicking a man while he was down, and I didn't like the way he did that. Like I'm usually a Jay Morrison fan. I met the guy and I told him how much I like him, but I didn't like the way he did Jake. I thought he did Jake Browning dirty with the way he pushed that one single quote without any context. Even has to be realistic. We wasn't getting done. I mean, I think he's gone through all the stages of whatever. He knows he fucked up. He knows he wasn't ready, even though he said like that was my. You want to talk about Jake Browning press conferences? That was my thing. He came on the first press conference and he's like, my job is to be ready. Well, he didn't look fucking ready to me. Like, that's all I'm saying. He didn't look like he had any thought process that he was going to be playing in the NFL, like taking NFL snaps this year. He just did not seem like he was prepared at all when he came out and played against the Vikings. And then he didn't look like he could get it together at all the next couple of weeks, So we'll see. We'll see, but I think he absolutely deserves to be pissed off, as he should be. And we'll see how he takes it from here, but I don't think he's going to get another shot to be a starter. Yeah. Jim's good for that, man. Jason's Realm chat has been frozen for hours. I don't know. Mikey's chat, I thought, was frozen earlier. It's going to be a pass to number 13 there. It's going to be about an 8-ish yard gain. Dontavian Wicks gets the grab. Like I said, they had really phenomenal field positioning, but now the Packers got some cushion. So, I mean, you've got plenty of field to make mistakes, but come on, man. All right, from the 15, 14, 13 yard line, because I have vision. Like I said, a fever brain a little bit right now. It's going to be a handoff, Josh Jacobs, and he just slices right through. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're even doing on defense right there. Picked up Flacco in fantasy because both my quarterbacks are hurt, Lamar and Burrow. This better work. I picked up Flacco in fantasy too, but as a backup because I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I think Flacco could do well for us, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to throw a lot of interceptions. I think a lot of those interceptions on the Browns were the receiver's fault, not Flacco's. So at least he might be a somewhat safe option. Jordan Love from under center. He takes a shotgun snap. I just said under center. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, man. My brain is fevered out. He gets the ball to Josh Jacobs, and he picks up about 6-7 yards. That's what happened. Who would have thought we would have the same record as the Ravens? That's a beautiful thing to say, Mikey. That makes me feel a lot better about the Bengals, is because the Ravens are bad too. At least it's not just us. The only team in the division right now that's really any good is the Steelers. And that sucks, but at least the Ravens and the Browns are sharing our pain. All right, it's going to be a quick throw, Josh Jacobs, and there's going to be a really good block, and the Bengals defense just, they're pissing me off right now. Bengals defense is pissing me off right now. I know the Packers have a good offense, but come on. You can do better than this. You can't rely on turnovers forever. There have been some games where they can, but you can't just expect that they're always going to come, Should be Panthers fan. At least they won. Told y'all Aints will stink this year, enough said. I don't know why you'd be a Panthers fan. The Panthers aren't really any good either. They beat the Cowboys. Congratulations. All right, from the 35, it's going to be a handoff. Bengals do a pretty good job of stopping them there. And number 30, there's going to be another running back, who is Chris Brooks, third-year running back out of BYU. I've never even heard of him. I watch a lot of Tom Grossi, and I've never heard of Chris Brooks. What's up, Kyle? How are the Bengals doing so far? They got an interception on Jordan Love. Offense couldn't really get anything going, but Flacco, looked okay. So, maybe I think they should maybe consider throwing the ball a little bit more, and the offense might do a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. Jordan Love from the pistol. Going to take the snap, rolls back, throws. Caught. Oh, man. They're just taking all these awful angles on the tackling. And I think the problem is they're trying to, punch the ball out. They're trying to, angle for turnovers because they know they can't fucking stop anybody, probably. But the thing is, if they actually just, focused on making, good tackles instead of trying to, angle for a fucking turnover, then I think they would they would be better off. Overall, I think they'd be better off. I'm from Carolina, and I've never never will root for the Panthers. If I was from Carolina, I'd probably root for the Panthers. I thought that I kind of liked the Panthers when they first came out back in '95. Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, rolling around. There's just no pressure, man. And he gets it off short to Josh Jacobs, who, I don't know who was trying to tackle him on that play, but he needs to have, I don't fucking know. Do you have any bridge recommendations? I'm not even going to go down that path, Mikey. He noticed. Yeah, I figure eventually you notice if your chat's just not really doing anything. We didn't realize we even had an NFL team for over a decade. Yeah. I mean, that's how expansion franchises usually are. Like the Jaguars had a really oddly quick come up, right? And then they were bad for a long time after that. But all right, Romeo Doubs going to take the handoff on the jet sweep, and he shows Jamar Chase how it's done. But frankly, probably what he showed is he showed the Bengals offensive line how an offensive line actually should block for a play like that. This is some bad tackling. Dude, it's awful tackling. Like I said, it looks to me like they're focused on trying to get a turnover and they're trying to punch the ball out. And I think part of the problem is they recognize that they're not going to stop the Packers. I don't think they believe in themselves to actually stop the other team. So they're so focused on trying to punch the ball out that they end up not doing a very good job of tackling. I'm not a big fan of that. It's going to be another jet sweep, and the Bengals do a better job of stopping that one. They still give them about 3 yards. That was Savion Williams. So the Packers are just throwing basically every offensive weapon on the roster. They're just throwing them out there. Probably because Christian Watkins is out, right? Or not Christian Watkins, Christian Watson. Christian Watson's out. Panthers made it to Super Bowl 50. Yeah, but for the first 10 years, they didn't. It was anything but organic. What did we do to deserve this pain? Oh. Nice play there. That's how you tackle DJ Turner on the screen pass, getting straight to, I think it might have been Romeo Doubs. I don't know. But either way, he did a great job of blowing that play up. That's how you tackle, dude. That's how you tackle. What's up, Richard? All right, 3rd and 8 now. Can you hold them to a field goal? And maybe they missed the field goal, Got the injured Brandon McManus not playing today. And so maybe the backup kicker fucks up. Never know. Never know. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if the Packers marched all the way down the field on their first 2 possessions and ended up with 0 points. That would be absolutely wild. And it would piss me off even more if the Bengals don't get any points out of that. But look. The thing is, like I said, I've only seen one throw from Joe Flacco so far, but he looked comfortable in the pocket. He looked like he kind of more or less knew what he was doing. He was accurate, which is helpful. And he's throwing to Jamar Chase instead of Jerry Jeudy, so that helps. The running game looks bad, but the running games look bad all year. So, let's see. I want to see some more pass attempts from Flacco. Let's see if he can get anything done. I get establishing the run game. I do. I do it a lot in Madden, right? Because like that's what you want out of like a quarterback who's not really particularly mobile. What you want is a guy who or you basically want to like keep them on their toes, and you want to like potentially set up like the play action and stuff like that. And you can't do that if you can't run the ball. But the problem is the Bengals haven't been able to run the ball all damn year, so you might just have to start slinging it, and that sucks because like that makes you super one dimensional. But you've also got like a historically massive amount of talent as far as weapons go. So if you've got a quarterback who's at least accurate, then maybe he can get the ball to those weapons and they can do something. But running the ball is just not working. Like, and like again, I hate to advocate for becoming one dimensional, but like you also got to go with what works too. It's better to be one dimensional than zero dimensional, right? Well, maybe they'll figure out the run game. I don't know, but I don't. They haven't figured it out all year. That guy in a Peter Warrick jersey. Interesting. He must have had that jersey for years. I don't know anybody who's picking up a Peter Warrick jersey since like the 90s. I have seen some. It's just been a while since I've seen a Peter Warrick jersey. Because I think most people got rid of them. All right, 3rd and 8, defense. Can you come up with a stop here and force a field goal attempt? Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, and there's some good pressure. Trey Hendrickson, can't bring him down. But luckily, Jordan Love's going to attempt to try to run it there, and he picks up like a yard or two. But the Bengals tackling over the last couple of plays has been better enough to actually stop the Packers. So who was that? Was that Oren Burks, I believe, who brought him down? I think it was Oren Burks, yeah. Trey Hendrickson in there getting the pressure and making that happen. Oren Burks, the former Philadelphia Eagle. I'm sorry, it was Barrett Carter. It was Barrett Carter who got that who got that tackle on Jordan Love. Gave him a couple of yards, but held him to 4th down. So anyway, kick is up, and the backup kicker for the Packers gets the field goal. I don't even know who he is, but I'll find out for y'all here in a second once I update the score. So Bengals defense holds him to 3. I mean that's got to be something, right? Like the Bengals offense can get going, then that's something. Like still it you got a better shot than you did with Jake Browning. That's all I'm saying. Let's see, kicker. Who is the Packers kicker? That's the Bengals roster. It was like Evan McPherson. What? Let's see. Lucas Havrasik. So Lucas Havrasik is the Packers kicker, and he puts the Packers on the board first. Now, poor play on that on the last offensive drive, but I think there was also some maybe not so great play calling there. So hopefully they can adjust and do better on this upcoming drive. They still got an opportunity to take the lead with a score. They're only down 3 points. So Lucas Havrasik has kind of on and off been in the NFL since 2022. Didn't end up in the on a regular season roster until 2023 with the Rams. And the Packers are the only team he's been on. So he got cut by the Browns apparently in 2024. And then got cut by the Bills. Then end up on the Arlington Renegades, which is a UFL team, which is a thing. But that the UFL is a thing. That's a whole, yeah. But yeah, the Lucas Havrasik of the most recently of the Arlington Renegades is the Green Bay Packers kicker today because Brandon McManus is hurt. So my hope is that can potentially create some chaos since the Packers special teams is already having problems. But that's who knows if that's actually going to work out that way, right? If the Bengals defense keeps giving him easy field goals, then, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to make a mistake, I think. 2009 Super Bowl. Ow. They just mortgaged their whole future for that one Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying? All right, so kick is away, and that's going to be returned from the 5 by Charlie Jones. He gets to the 25 and gets ushered out about the 27-yard line. 1 yard of offense in a quarter, so bad. Well, they only had like 3 possessions, or they only had 3 plays. So, I mean, the running game is awful. Don't get me wrong. The running game is horrendous. But they only had 1 possession in the first quarter. Like, the Packers just, took the entire rest of the clock up. And obviously the running game's bad. But Joe Flacco got Jamar Chase for more than 1 yard. It's just they also got backed up quite a bit on some of the other plays. Doesn't offset the pain you had to witness today. That's kind of what I'm saying. Chase Brown's going to take the handoff, and he gets 2 yards. So that's a positive running play. That's progress, I guess. At least they still have LSU, or at least I still have LSU. Yeah, well, you do have LSU. Bengals fans, trade us Trey Hendrickson. Well, I don't know who you're a fan of, John Hendricks, because you're not in my chat often. But I don't know, whoever you're a fan of, we'll see. I think the Bengals will trade Trey if they're, clearly not in contention by the trade deadline. But you'll have to wait probably till near the trade deadline, I would imagine. 2nd and 7 from the 30.5-yard line. T. Higgins, there you go. Joe Flacco getting the ball to T. Higgins. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Joe Cool in the pocket there, getting the ball to his weapons. And we can't run the ball, but Joe Flacco seems to be calm and collected in the pocket, and that helps. Good job. Come in peace to negotiate. Are you a Packers fan? Like, is that... All right, like, you want us to trade him? Why would the Packers trade for Trey Hendrickson? Like, with the amount of money he's making, you already got Micah Parsons, and you got Rashawn Gary. I don't know if you're a Packers fan, but if you are, that'd be a silly trade for you guys to make at this point. Joe Flacco dirts that one because there wasn't anywhere to throw, and you got to do what you got to do. I wish Jake Browning had done that a little bit more. So even on that busted play, that still was better than what you would have gotten out of Jake Browning. 116-1. What? Who the fuck is 100? What? I thought Bengals or some other team might get Kirk Cousins, but Flacco, all I can say is good luck. Flacco's fine, man. Like, have you seen the Browns? Like, Flacco's been pretty solid in the NFL. This year, he didn't have a good year, but that wasn't really his fault. Flacco's going to throw. He's going to try to get it to Tanner Hudson. Can't quite do it. So that's unfortunate. He was getting pressured pretty bad on that play. The problem is, Jim, that Flacco does kind of break down a little bit with pressure. He's too willing to get rid of the ball and give up on plays. But at the same time, the way that things went with Jake Browning, it's like, I'll take giving up on plays. Because at least you live to fight another day, I'll consider a moral victory for Big Al's defense to hold the almighty Packers offense to a field goal. Yep, gonna need a strong defensive performance today, I think. All right, 3rd and 10, Flacco. He's gonna roll back and he's gonna look around and he's getting chased down and nobody got open, so he had to just chuck it away. There's a flag on the play, though. Maybe we're gonna get roughing the passer. Maybe they are taking pity on Joe Flacco being a 40-year-old man. Never know. But the Bengals are running off the field, so I'm guessing it's probably on the Bengals. Or maybe there's no flag. I don't know. The broadcast said there was a flag, but it appears they took that off. Fred Warner got carted off the field. That's not good. Mighty Packers, a team that tied the Cowboys and lost to the Browns. Yeah, but their offense, they've had some struggles, but their offense wasn't the problem against the Cowboys, Jim. You gotta say that. And the Browns have like one of the best defenses in the NFL, without question. Some more good punting by Ryan Rico's got the Packers at the 11, so maybe the defense can come out and do something. Maybe. I'm a Colts fan. I want Trey Hendrickson. Well, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with the Colts roster. Let's see what the Colts depth chart looks like while we're on commercial break. Kwity Paye, who was a guy who I actually wanted the Bengals to draft at one point. Interesting enough. You got DeForest Buckner at defensive tackle, so yeah, and then Latu. Hell yeah, actually, that'd be a great move for you guys. I'm not... The Bengals are not going to trade you Trey Hendrickson right now. But I do think the Bengals would genuinely be willing to trade Trey just because of all the problems they had getting a contract done this offseason. I think they would be willing to trade Trey if we continue losing with Joe Flacco. Now, if the Bengals are, still in contention, you're gonna have to wait till November to have a shot at Trey, is what I'm saying. But if the Bengals start winning some games, the Bengals aren't going to trade Trey Hendrickson. I promise you that. But it might be, it'd probably be a good, mutually beneficial trade for everybody involved if the Bengals are kind of still losing with Joe Flacco by November. So that'd be a good trade for you guys to make, though. I think that'd be a good trade. I'm surprised he hasn't died in the pocket yet. Yeah, because he's not going to let himself, Richard. That's kind of what I'm saying. Who knows if he's giving up on these plays too early? I don't know. But he's also going with what his skill set is. And Jake Browning should have given up on more plays than he did. And he ended up throwing interceptions and stuff. So I don't mind Flacco giving up on some of these plays. And as you see, he's not really getting, there's not really a big, he's not having huge problems or anything like that. Not every play's a working out, but you live to fight another down. Not every down has to be a hero ball, right? And if somebody in the NFL understands that, it's Joe Flacco. And when you're Joe Burrow, you can do that shit, great. But not everybody in the NFL, Jake Browning, can do what Joe Burrow can do. And you can't pretend to try to be Joe Burrow. You just can't. Jordan Love's going to take the shotgun snap from the 16-yard line is where they've got the ball. And that's going to be a handoff to number 23, whose name I forget. The Bengals do a good job of tackling him for only about a yard or two. Emmanuel Wilson. Just wanted to say I enjoyed your week update for the Strange Week 5. Yeah, well, we are going to be changing the style of that a little bit, but not phenomenally. Going to be more focused on previewing than recapping, but yeah, hopefully that show, I enjoy making it. I enjoy making that show, so hopefully we can make that show work. All right, under center, 2nd and 8. It's going to be another handoff. And the Bengals cannot bring him down. What are you doing? Jesus Christ, man. They had him for a 1-yard gain, and they gave him 5. Because they just can't, they can't actually freaking... It took the whole team to stop him from moving. They couldn't even tackle him. Man. TJ Slayton over here getting, moved into next week on that block, too. The NFL season, we'll see how strange it may look in 2 weeks. And we'll see. Can you define defense for Brandon Staley and I? I don't think so. I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm not entirely sure I know what defense is. Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, and he's getting chased down, and he's got to throw it short. There you go. Defense is going to get off the field again, and they're gonna get him for a loss there. Jordan Love threw the ball to Emmanuel Wilson behind the line, and Bengals did it. So it's going to be a 4-yard loss there. It's going to be 4th and 6, and the Packers going to have to punt. So the defense came to play today, y'all. The offense kind of needs to get some stuff going, but I think the thing is they're biding their time. Great play by Joseph Osai, by the way. I was criticizing him earlier, but great play by Joseph Osai to get that pressure on Jordan Love. The nice thing about Joe Flacco is he's letting them live to fight another day. He's looking for his opportunity, and whether he finds it or not, I don't know, but it's better than completely... Charlie Jones almost fumbles that ball, but luckily doesn't. But yeah, Joe Flacco looks like he's biding his time right now and just not, looking to just try to not make major mistakes. I think the ball. I think even if he had fumbled that would have been knocked out by the ground, so it wouldn't have mattered. But he manages to get back control of the ball. But like, so yeah, Flacco appears to just be biding his time, which is what he's made his career on. To be fair, like I mean, think about I remember one of the most obnoxious playoff games I ever watched that didn't involve the Bengals was Joe Flacco against the Broncos in like 2012, and the Broncos pretty much had him because Flacco wasn't really getting the job done most of that game. But at the very end of the game, he throws this frickin' Hail Mary to I forget the name of the receiver at this point, but gets him the touchdown. They end up going to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's what Joe Flacco does, and it's not the most exciting thing of all time, but it tends to win more often than more exciting guys like Jameis Winston. So, if the Bengals defense can keep playing well, which they generally, I don't want to say they've been playing well all game, but they got that they got that interception on the first drive, which helped out a lot. And on this most recent drive, they held him to a 3-and-out, which is I don't remember if it was a 3-and-out or not, but they made him. They're going to make him punt, so that helps. And then they, the one drive that they weren't able to save, stop them from getting any points, they held them to a field goal. So if we can get the offense going, which is possible, as long as we don't completely just shit the bed, which was a constant, problem that we were potentially having with Jake Browning is constantly shitting the bed, and then you're just, by the second quarter, you're fucked, right? With Joe Flacco, at least we're not going to be fucked at any point in the game, right? So if we can keep this game close, then there's a chance that we can take it at the end, right? Might end up getting a much more defensive football game than I thought, though, because right now it's only 3-0, and I had both teams scoring over 20. So Bengals O-line let Flacco down on the last drive. He was not getting enough time to find the open guy. Doesn't help that Dylan Fairchild's out, man. Does not help. But I think that's the things the Packers know. If they can pressure Flacco, then they can force him to just get rid of the ball. And you'll take it to some extent, but in other cases, hey, nice play there by Chase Brown. It's not the greatest run of all time, but it's better than anything else you've seen today. He finds the hole and he picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. Yeah, they're going to give him 5 yards on that play. And that's a good run that you need to see. And if you can get the run game going, then maybe, just maybe, you can catch him off guard on some sort of like big Jamar Chase touchdown or something, right? The Patriots will take him. We need it. The Saints keep gashing us when they weren't shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. Yeah, so like I said, if we're out of contention in November, then I think Trey Hendrickson's going to be available. And I think that's the right move, too, actually. Chase Brown, nice job. Terrible run blocking. Chase Brown gets hit pretty much immediately, but he still manages to pick up about 2 to 3 yards through the contact. They're going to give him 3 yards through the contact. So, he's not giving up. You got to give him that. I'm putting up this stat on the screen like, Jake Browning's got 8 interceptions, but Joe Flacco has 6 interceptions. Yeah, but why did Joe Flacco throw interceptions and why did Jake Browning throw interceptions? That's my thing. Jake Browning threw interceptions because he wasn't paying attention and he just was completely lost out there and everything. Joe Flacco threw interceptions because his receivers can't fucking catch. All right, Flacco, he's going to throw. It's a bad pass. Tanner Hudson comes down with it, but he can't get anywhere near the first down marker, so that's unfortunate. But, I have this feeling that Joe Flacco is going to throw very few interceptions for the Bengals. I think I can safely say that. I think Flacco is not going to throw very many interceptions while he's on the Bengals, right? I think that stat's going to go down dramatically. Now, whether he fixes our offense or not, I don't know. He hasn't done it yet today. But he's at least been looking a little bit better than Jake Browning looked, right? Oh, man. That was another good punt by Ryan Rico, but the Bengals coverage is just nowhere in the area, and that bounces into the end zone. That sucks. Well, that's going to be a touchback for the Packers. GG's, Richard. Yeah, that did suck. Lions versus Chiefs to see Chiefs lose again. I sure hope the Chiefs just keep losing. That would be nice. It's fine. We just need to get our wallet. Okay. Break out mom's credit card or use, or in Gail's case, her deceased husband's. I guess. How much money will y'all give the refs? How much money did y'all give to the refs? Just wondering. I thought the refs were mostly fine in that game. It was that one play, and they called it right on the field. They just screwed it up in the booth. Like, that's the crazy thing to me. Or maybe they didn't call it right on the field, but it's the issue is not what they called on the field, because that you could maybe make the argument that that was a fumble. The problem is you can't really definitively say that in the booth, right? Because it looks like maybe that ball's coming out, but it's also looking like maybe he's still in control of the ball, even though it's like bobbling around and shit, right? And it doesn't really pop out until he gets to the ground, and that's where the call on the field really matters. So that's my issue. Need offense by halftime. That's true. That's true, Jim. We're not going to win this game if the offense doesn't get going. But very marginally, you're starting to see the offense do something, right? It's not much, but if the defense can keep playing well and they can keep holding the Packers down, then maybe you give the offense the time it needs to get going. And it's not going to be pretty football, but it's going to be winning football if you can do it that way. See if the defense can keep this up. You know, the Packers have an explosive offense even without Christian Watson, right? Let's just say I'll be behind in rent. Oh, took me a second. Change the scoreboard a second quarter. Yep. Sorry, I'm too focused on my football team. But I do have a job to do, so that's my bad. Probably not to us, though, since you play us later in the season. Probably a team that needs it, and you won't play in the season. Yeah, we probably won't trade him to the Patriots, I would imagine. But then again, if our season's basically over, I don't know if we would care that much. All right. Jordan Love's going to pitch it to Josh Jacobs, and he manages to get past one guy, but not a whole lot there. Maybe about a 3.5-yard gain, and defense needs to do a little bit better than that, but they've been having an okay game so far, so it's not really their fault. Just laughing at my own pain right now. Well, I'm glad you're laughing now, Mikey, because you were struggling earlier, but I'm glad you're laughing now. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at with the Bengals. Like, you just got to laugh. Now, I've got some hope with Joe Flacco, but, you know, I haven't seen a whole lot out of the offense yet today. Jordan Love's going to throw it short, and this is going to be an attempted screen, and the Bengals, terrible tackling, but still, just because so many people get in the area, they managed to hold him for no gain. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. Now, can you get off the field? Please get off the field. And if you can, again, I'm sorry that it's all on you, defense. I am very sorry. I wish our offense was better, but they're not. And so y'all got to come out here and y'all got to get the job done. Like, that's just the way it's got to be. All right. 3rd and 6. If you can get off the field here, give yourself another shot, you know. From the 23.5-yard line, Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap, 3rd and 6. He's going to throw it, and it's caught, and I think that's a first down. Fuck. Barrett Carter was playing too soft in coverage there, and gives the first down to the Packers. That's annoying. Dontavian Wicks on the catch. I was struggling because it was all instant. I get it, Mikey. I get it. Nice play there by the Bengals to take down Josh Jacobs for no gain on that play. The defense looks pretty okay, man. That's the thing. Like, the defense looks pretty okay, and they should be better. Oh, you know what? I think it doesn't matter now because another play's run, but I think Dontavian Wicks might have been short. You know, I mean, I'm sure they probably would have just, well, no, maybe at that position in the field. They might not have gone for it. I don't know. That's annoying. You want to talk about the refs, man, but that was really close, too. I don't know if you're going to overturn that one just because that was so close. All right, Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap. He's getting rushed, and he overthrows it pretty severely. I mean, he was just getting destroyed in the pocket there. George Washington could get out of the grave and right now and score a touchdown on us. That sucks. That sucks, man. I didn't watch the Saints game because I didn't get it here, but I was listening to your stream and I had the games I was watching were on mute, so I heard all about it. I definitely heard all about it. We get another interception, man. That would be something. That would be something. If we could take it to the house or something, that would really amp this team up. Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap. He's going to roll back. He winds up and then throws, and oh my God, he fucking caught that. Man, damn, Matthew Golden with a crazy-ass catch, man. I mean, not like a crazy, like, acrobatic catch or whatever, but, Cam Taylor-Britt's playing pretty good coverage there, and maybe get your hand up a little better, but if you're not looking at the ball, it's kind of hard to tell. So that's just a really good, that's a really efficient play by Matthew Golden, so that's unfortunate. Can't be having that, man. 2 touchdowns where everyone was wide open. Yeah. All right, so where are we at now? We're at the 35-yard line. Basically just flipped the entire damn field. Jordan Love takes shotgun snap, and he's getting pressured. He's eventually going to have to throw. Good Lord. He's got Josh Jacobs, and Barrett Carter just gets absolutely fucking roasted in coverage. God damn it. I know Barrett Carter was a 5th-round pick and is a rookie, but, that was just absolutely fucking unacceptable, dude. I know you're a linebacker, but, he's just... Let's see, what does he even do here? That's your zone, man, and he overshoots it. He overshoots it because I think he's trying to, I don't even know. Did he even see the receiver there? Good Lord, Barrett Carter. I don't know if he was maybe trying to go for an interception or something, but, man, you can't do that. See if we can hold him to a field goal at least. I don't know. Jordan Love takes the snap. He's going to play action. There's flags all over the field. They're going to say it was an incomplete pass. I don't know what the flags are, though. It feels like it's going to be on the Bengals. CMC touchdown, 49ers 10-7 over the Buccaneers. Well, holding on the defense. I thought so. Damn it. This is where the defense fucking collapses, dude. And you hate to really blame him too much, man, but you just can't be doing shit like that, Cam. You gotta do better than that, man. 1st and goal now. I mean, they're gonna have it at the 1-yard line, right? I think. Maybe not quite. I don't know. I don't quite remember how that yardage works, but no. Okay, so they're gonna have it at the 3-yard line. Yay. All right, Jordan Love hands the ball off, and the Bengals let him get in for the end zone. God damn it, defense. Look, I'm sorry that it's all on you right now, but you gotta do better than that. Fuck, dude. Packers take a 10-0 lead, or sorry, a 9-0 lead pending the extra point. Josh Jacobs just cuts through that defensive line like butter. And they've been doing so well against the run today, man. Not on every play, but, man, come on. All right, the new kicker, forget his name already, is coming out. Extra points up, that one's good. No issue with any of the cadence or anything. 10-0 Packers. Thanks, Jim. Glad you knew that. The Saints solve all problems. You can't score a touchdown, then play the Saints. What? You can't score a touchdown, then play the Saints. You can force a turnover, then play the Saints. Your wife hates you, then play the Saints. Oh, I see. You can't score a touchdown, play the Saints. Can't force a turnover, play the Saints. Your wife hates you, play the Saints. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. That's the type of thing that you need, you need more than you can deliver over text, I think. But, yeah, the Saints not looking so good right now. But then again, the Bengals not looking so good right now, right? The offense has got to get something going on this next drive. because they're going to risk losing control of this game. And I keep saying, bless the defense's heart. They're doing their best, but you can't expect them to just like completely be perfect all game, man. Like, you just can't expect that. And so the offense has got to get going, man. And like Joe Flacco, he's given us more of a shot than Jake Browning, but it's not gonna matter if you just keep not having anything going for you. Guys got to be getting open faster, and you got these super high end talented weapons. They got to be getting open faster. That's the thing, you know. I mean, I don't know if Joe Flacco's doing something wrong out there, but you know, I don't begrudge him for giving up on plays more quickly, because I was screaming about Jake Browning not doing that. You know, like you got to take. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, we've got a better quarterback now, right? So the rest of the offense needs to get it together. Mike must be in therapy. Oh, maybe. Still in shock, but at least life isn't permanent. Well, that's not the way to look at it, Mikey. That's just not the way to look at it. It's just football, man. I mean, I get it, but it's just football, man. All right, well, I know you don't care. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. I feel dirty saying I want the Falcons to win. Gross. Why do you have a problem with the Falcons, Richard? I think you like the Falcons for giving you probably the greatest Super Bowl win of all time. All right, Charlie Jones is going to return this one, and he's going to get it past the 20 up to about the 25 where he gets taken down. There's a flag on the play, though. What's the flag? I'm thinking this is going to be on the Packers for unnecessary roughness, because I think they had a little bit of extracurricular after the play there. Thank God the Ratbirds are losing, too. That helps me feel a little bit better. Personal foul, yep, on the Packers. So that's going to give the Bengals some extra yardage on that return. So like 15 extra yards, I think. So that's going to give us the ball at the 40, I want to say. Yeah, he completely throws Charlie Jones to the ground completely unnecessarily, and I want to say like forward progress was stopped, and it was he wasn't getting out of that, like, so you can't be doing that. Joe Flacco is going to throw it up to nobody. I didn't see that play because I was apparently behind, so I clicked live. But I don't know where the hell he was throwing. It looked like he had a clean pocket to me. I don't know. Let me see this replay. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase fell. Okay, I'm not gonna get too mad at Flacco there then. Jamar Chase just totally slipped. That sucks. Looked like they had something. They had a good play dialed up there then. So I mean, they gotta get it together, man. Like we can't be having this. We can't just let ourselves just be down this badly. You know, it's going to be a play action pass to Chase Brown. Flacco's going to roll back. He's going to throw it to Drew Sample behind the line. He gets taken down for about a 4-yard loss. Man. I don't even know what you do at this point. Like, I don't think this is all Flacco's fault at all. But it doesn't matter. Like, you got to get something going. Oh. Hold on, y'all. Give me a sec. I'm not feeling super good right now. 3rd and 13. Flacco stepping up in the pocket. Is he gonna just run? No, he's not. He's gonna throw it, and he's too far for T. Higgins. Well, 4th and 13. He maybe could have had T. Higgins there. He just overthrew it. Now that was the first play that I can say was definitively a bad play by Joe Flacco. So sorry, y'all. All of a sudden I'm not feeling so great. All right, punt is away. It's going to be. He hesitates on the return. I'm so confused, and because of that, he only gets it down to about the 16-yard line. Weird. Bucks only team in the division not worth worth anything. The rest of them suck just like last year. The Panthers are 3-3. The Panthers are at least competitive right now. Richard, repent now. What did Richard say? Oh, because of the Falcons, yeah. Hope the Bills beat them 56-2. Fair enough. I see why Richard's rooting for the Falcons. I just don't understand why Richard has a big problem with the Falcons personally. Guess you could call it a Joe overthrow. Sure was. That was not a good play by Joe Flacco. All right. I might take a break at halftime, y'all. I'm seriously feeling a little off right now. We got 2:50 left to go in the quarter and the half, for what that's worth. Can we get a pick six? That'd be interesting. Jordan Love's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw, and it's caught wide open. Tucker Kraft, I believe. Down to about the 40-yard line. Jesus Christ, man. They play such soft coverage. Dudes are always freaking open, man. Like, it feels like for the Bengals, like, our receivers just, like, constantly get buried. And, there's, like, never anybody to throw to. But other teams, like, the Bengals are always leaving them open. It's frustrating. And, again, I don't want to criticize the defense too much because, like, they're the only reason we're even remotely in this game. But, once again, it's going to be an 11-yard gain for Josh Jacobs, and instead of trying to actually tackle him, they're trying to punch the ball out, and that's part of why they can't fucking tackle anybody. I will say with the defense, you got to play a full 60 minutes. Like, regardless of whether the offense is good, you got to play, wire to wire. You can't be having these, like, some drives are good, some drives are ass type of thing, man. We're in a lot of danger right now of going down 2 scores. We're already at 2 scores. But we're in danger of going down 13-0, which is, since we haven't put any points on the board at all yet, that's hard to imagine coming back from, That rally we had against the Lions notwithstanding, man. Like, you got to play like that all game. This is rough, man. Speaking of rough. I am probably going to have to take a break during halftime, y'all, just for reasons. So I am going to try to put up the most recent episode of the podcast, or not the podcast, the recap show, right? I'm gonna put that up so I give myself a chance to take a break at halftime because I'm really not feeling good right now, y'all. I don't even know where did I put it. I've got so many fucking files on this computer. I guess it's good to have work, right? It's good to have too much work than not enough. What am I even looking for? Project folders, right? Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and we've got a hell of a show for you this week. Meltdowns. That's it. I'm not playing it right now, but I might play it at halftime just because I'm not doing so hot right now. And it's not a Bengals thing. It's I don't know, something went weird with me today. I don't know. Not feeling super on top of the world right now. I wonder when I took that ibuprofen. I wonder if that wore off and that's part of what's going on right now. Jordan Love is under center from the 47-ish yard line. It's going to be a play action pass. Rolls back, throws it. And that's a wobbly pass, and that's going to be out of bounds. So good coverage there. While Romeo Doubs takes a tumble on the sideline, but that's probably why he's wearing that gigantic helmet. And you got to respect it because, like, your brain's like the most important thing in your life. So I don't begrudge Romeo Doubs at all for wearing that safety helmet because, you know, you like anything you can do to prevent a concussion. That's vital, man. Got to protect the head. That's part of why I decided to not play football when I was a kid. Like, I did play, didn't do super well. Probably could have played better if I had stuck with it, but I decided not to keep with it because just like it made my head feel weird. I didn't like it. Mike left rather than moaning about his team. We don't want to hear it. Dude, why you gotta be such a dick, dude? Why you gotta be such a dick? Like, you just gonna kick him while he's down? Like, come on, man. Aren't you like fucking 60 and you're over here bullying like a 16-year-old kid? Like, are you really that fucking sad? Like trash talk is one thing, but like, come on, man. 3rd and 5. What's under review? Something's under review here. What are we looking at? Are we looking at maybe they're saying that he caught it? Because, like, I mean, he didn't even... he didn't even control it to the ground, so I don't even know what they're reviewing here. What are we reviewing? Oh, it's a I'm like a playoff. I'm telling y'all, my brain is not here today. I'm not feeling... I got something going on. I'm not sure. Are we reviewing that it was a first down? Like, he wasn't even anywhere near the marker. Season's over. Trade is Trey Hendrickson. Well, I mean, no, it's not over, John. Like, look, if our season's clearly over in November, we'll trade you Trey Hendrickson, I'm sure. Or we'll trade him to somebody if you guys make the best offer. What are we looking at? I think they said the play stands, so I'm not... Matt LaFleur doesn't like it, so I guess I'm happy. I'm not... What were they even reviewing? Rule that the runner was inbounds. So was he trying to say the clock should stop? I'm confused. Wouldn't the Packers want to burn the clock? What? I'm so lost. I am so lost. I might have to go to Twitter to try to have somebody explain to me what they're reviewing. All right, Jordan Love takes the shotgun snap. He's rolling back. There's no pressure. And it's knocked away. Good job there. Good job there. I think that was DJ Turner again. DJ Turner's having a good game today, y'all. So now it's going to be 4th and 5. And I believe the Packers might have to punt again, actually. So, defense doing what they got to do, you know? So, what is the review? I'm still so lost as to what they were even reviewing. I don't understand. I really don't. Anyway, 4th and 5, the Packers are indeed punting, so defense gets the job done. It takes them half the damn field to do it, but they got it done. It's going to be fair caught by Charlie Jones about the 7-yard line. So that's a good punt. Packers flagged for unnecessary roughness. That's not what the concern was. Yeah, I promise you, I'm going to have to take a break at the fucking half. Like, I'm 13 yards passing. Yikes. Yeah. Sure is. Dude, what is fucking going on with me today, man? Like, I don't think I'm sick, but I got something going on. Are they reviewing? Still can't figure out what they're reviewing. Joe Flacco's under center around the 7-yard line. It's going to be a toss to Chase Brown. There you go. There's a good play. And he keeps his feet going, and he gets about a He gets a first down out of that. Now, obviously there's not much time left in the second quarter. Why they're not taking a timeout here, I don't understand. But, maybe they're just trying to run down the clock so even if the drive does stall. Utterly pointless review that did nothing but break the Packers' rhythm or whatever existed. Hold on. Joe Flacco, shotgun snap. He's going to throw it up. He's got Jamar Chase who catches it and gets out of bounds. I don't know if he got a first down or not. I think they're saying he did. Yeah. So the Bengals offense is moving the ball here. Right before 3rd and 5, then Love threw to a covered Dobbs again. Punt from okay, so that's just a guy complaining. What were they I don't understand what they're reviewing. Whatever. Joe Flacco's in shotgun formation now from the 30-yard line, and at least the offense is moving, man. We've not seen this all day. Flacco's going to throw it short. Was that Tanner Hudson who fell and got 2 yards, but probably could have had like 6 or 7 there, but fell. Bengals take their first timeout with 29 seconds left to go in the half. I'm still trying to figure out what they were even reviewing. Maybe I put Packers challenge? I still don't understand what they were challenging. Evan McPherson's getting warmed up to hopefully hit a field goal. I'd like to see a touchdown, man. That would really help. Flacco's going to throw it short to Andre Yoshivas, who was pretty much on the ground already, but still caught it, so that helps. The Bengals going to have to take another timeout. They are. I will say one thing about Joe Flacco is they call him Joe Cool for a reason. The problem being that sometimes I think he's a little too cool because he just doesn't really seem to have that fire. He's just out there throwing the ball around and seeing what happens, I mean, again, I'm hard to criticize when we saw Jake Browning doing the opposite and getting us absolutely waxed constantly. But I don't know. I just miss Joe Burrow, man. I just miss Joe Burrow. I really do. All right, it's going to be a handoff. And they pick up the first down, but it's a fucking handoff? What? The Bengals are going to obviously take another timeout after that with 20. Why did we hand the ball off with 25 seconds left and only one timeout? That's 22 seconds left and no timeouts. Like, what? What? At least they're moving the ball, I guess. I want to see Zach push it down the field during this 1-minute drill with 3 timeouts. Yeah, I do too, but now they have no timeouts and 22 seconds left because they are not pushing the ball down the field. And they still got like probably 20-something yards to go. So they're going to have to, Flacco's going to have to throw out of bounds now. Or not throw out of bounds, but he's going to have to throw and lead a guy out of bounds. All right, well. Shotgun formation, it's more or less empty. Flacco's got a super clean pocket, rolling out to his right. He's going to throw after being pressured, just throws it away, and might as well. There's nobody to throw to. Stops the clock. It's first down, so another couple downs there. Unless the Bengals offense wakes up, Pat got this, maybe back later. Well, we saw what happened against the Browns, didn't we? Grossi fans sending love. Thanks, MJ Wild. I'm also a Grossi fan. I like Tom Grossi. I don't always like his analysis, but I do like Tom Grossi. It's going to be a shotgun snap, Flacco. He's going to throw it short, and you got Noah Fant. They're going to have to, hurry up. They're going to have to snap this real quick. 3, 2, 1, and Flacco snaps it with 1 second left to go, I think. They took forever to snap that ball. There is 1 second left. So now you're at the point now where you got to go for a fucking Hail Mary. Are they going to send Evan McPherson out for like a... Dude, what on earth is this, would this even... They're going to send Evan McPherson out. They're sending Evan McPherson out for, what was this, off the top of my head, I don't even know. This is such a long field goal. A 65-yard field goal for Evan McPherson. Okay. 67-yard field goal for Evan McPherson. He's got the leg. Kick is up, and there's a timeout. It looked like he got it, actually, oddly enough. Timeout by the Packers to ice Evan McPherson, which actually I think maybe helps because, like, he got the kick, and just barely. It bounced, it hit the post, and it went in. But now Evan has better, he got a warm-up kick. So, I mean, I understand icing the kicker, but Evan McPherson said before that he appreciates being iced because it gives him a practice kick. And that went in. So, you know, Bengals would have had at least 3 points. So, let's see if he can get it here. 67-yard field goal attempt. I believe this would be a Bengals record. Not an NFL record, but this would be a Bengals record, I believe. All right, kick is up. And that, I think, is a little too far to the right. Yep. I pushed it. That's going to be returned. And, oh, man, come on. All right, and they get him down. All right, that's going to be the end of the half. Obnoxious. This is brutal. He's going to miss, watch, you don't kick 67 yards. Well, he got the first one. He got the first one, but he missed the second one. And I don't think it's because he got iced. I think it's a hard kick to make, you know? That one didn't even go far enough. So that sucks. Like he got a taste of what you need to do to kick it, and he didn't even kick it far enough. You know, even if he did, it would have been too short. So, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go walk around for a second because I'm feeling weird again. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and we've got a hell of a show for you this week. Meltdowns, choke jobs, whining about the refs. I mean, this week's got everything, for real. If you spend your Sundays screaming at your television or computer screen, in my case, as much as I do, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button before your buddies roast you alive for living under a rock. So grab a drink, get angry, and get ready to relive every glorious disaster from around the league this week. Oh man, Kyron Williams has got to be furious with himself right now, man. The Rams look like garbage for the first 37 minutes of this game. And then with a chance to take the lead back with a minute left, at the 2-yard line, this dude coughs the ball up. And then the Rams defense, bless their hearts, did their best, but the Niners managed to run the clock out in regulation and put up a field goal in overtime. Still, they maybe had a chance to win it, but Kyron turned the ball back over, this time just by running out of downs at the end of overtime because he couldn't get a yard on 4th and 1. It's absolutely brutal. So the Dylan Gabriel era kicked off in London this week, which ended up being good news for my Bengals, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And you know what? The kid didn't look too bad. He didn't look too great either. You know, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions is nice, but only completing 57% of your passes is kind of rough shit. Ending 9 of your 11 offensive drives without really accomplishing anything, that's some really rough shit. Still somehow having a chance after all that and blowing it, even though the Skycam gods blocked a field goal for you and let you keep the lead late in the 4th quarter, you're gonna need a fucking laxative for that one. You know, speaking of the Bengals, as bad and embarrassing as they are right now, I definitely think that it seems like there's some teams out there who have it a lot worse than we do. Like the Raiders, for example. You know, they're 1-4. They're stuck in this Geno Smith, Pete Carroll lottery loop. giving up over 40 points for the second time in 3 weeks, and they just look utterly hopeless. Like, it's bad here in Cincinnati right now, but it's not winning the possession battle and still losing by 34 points bad. Yet. The Colts, however, are doing exactly what good teams are supposed to do to bad teams, and that's crushing them. I'm getting 2021 Bengals vibes from them, and... oh no. New Orleans finally got in the win column this week, and they weren't even the last ones to do it. Congratulations. Shout out to Mikey, who finally got this chance to shout "Who dat" for real this season. It wasn't pretty, but it was what was needed. Mikey's going to be insufferable all week, I know that, but honestly, give him this one. It's been a long season, and it's only week 5. Then again, I mean, it is just the Giants. I'm just kidding. A win's a win. Like, seriously. But Giants fans, y'all might need to rethink everything after that loss. Like, Jackson Dart out here looking like the Giants version of Daniel Jones. Cam Scattaboo gave his mind, body, and soul on that block, but then he gives up a scoop 6, and it just feels like running on a hamster wheel at this point. You know, honestly, what's crazy about everything that I just said about that last game is that the Giants aren't even the worst team in Jersey right now. Submitted for your approval, the New York Jets, a franchise caught between dimensions, where third and manageable becomes fourth and forever, where promising drives dissolve into yellow laundry, and where hope is a trap that even Fireman Ed couldn't escape from. You'll see familiar specters, sacks, punts, fumbles, looping like a rerun that you can't turn off. I have nothing to say about the Cowboys. You know, as I was keeping up with this Broncos game on Sunday, I was thinking about how much worse that this looks for Bengals fans, right? For 3 quarters, the Broncos looked like some straight punks out there antagonizing a real football team. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the defense did an okay job against the Eagles, but it's not like Philly's offense is exactly lighting up the league lately, right? Then Sean Payton seemed like he figured something out in the 4th quarter. The Broncos' offense was honestly just as boring till they started scoring, and the Eagles kept going 3 and out. Before you knew it, the Broncos had the lead with a little over a minute left to go. And they just couldn't turn it on at that point. And it looks like the Broncos get to be the first team to take down the champs this year. Congratulations. Oh, ratbirds. Oh, ratbirds. At least the Bengals aren't the only team currently being accused of wasting their generational talent quarterback. Cooper Rush basically had the same performance that Jake Browning had against the Vikings. Derrick Henry managed to get in the end zone, but the Texans held him to 33 yards on 15 carries otherwise. Nick Chubb looked like the much better runner in this one, which is not something I expected to say in 2025, especially with Derrick Henry on the Ravens and Nick Chubb on the Texans. At 1-4, though, the Ravens need to make a serious move if they want to have any shot at turning the season around, while the Texans look like there's at least some spark of life, maybe? Probably not, a little bit. Rest in peace, Cardinals fans. Y'all gave the damn Titans their first win of the season this week, despite being up 21-6 in the 4th quarter. What the hell? First, DeMarcado hands the ball to the Titans after the defense suddenly turns into Swiss cheese, and then Darian Taylor Demison, who I've totally heard of before, becomes the unlikely hero, picking off Cam Ward and the rest. Welcome to the jungle. I'm sorry, hold on. There's a Grossi raid. Did I miss the fucking Grossi raid? Seriously? There's a Grossi raid. That's great that there's a Grossi raid. I'd be kind of fucking pissed if I missed it. That would kind of suck. Damn, man, you come down with some sort of fucking sickness. Oh man, I think I missed it. That sucks. Damn. Still here? Well, you're still here, Lance Baker. Unfortunately, I missed the big one, apparently. Seems to be the case. Let me see if I can get his stream up real quick. He's not at his desk either. Alright, well, anyway, thanks for showing up, guys. That's, I think, like the 4th time Tom Grossi's rated me, so I always appreciate the love. Damn, Bengals fucking suck, though. Damn. I do like what Joe Flacco's doing more than what I like Jake Browning's doing. The problem is the rest of the team kind of has to pick it up around him. But it's only 10-0. So the fact that it's only 10-0 means, like, I don't know. This defense is playing well enough that we could potentially turn it around. You never know. But, yeah, I apologize for not being here earlier, guys. I feel like I don't know what I came down with, but, like, I've had a fever all day, and I'm trying to do this game, but something happened, and I don't know quite what. But I do appreciate Tom Grossi giving me the love, though. That always makes me feel better. Man, there's a lot of fucking ones, though. But that's my fucking guy right there. That Tom Grossi's the one who inspired me to start doing this shit. So the fact that he raised my channel from time to time, I really appreciate. Always appreciate. I'm not always a big fan of his analysis. I feel that I feel sometimes he kind of phones in his analysis sometimes. But you know, he's a hard worker. He's an inspiration. So I appreciate that about him. Yeah, you sure did, MJ. More or less, spoke the Grossi raid into existence. I'm kind of pissed that it was like right after I, it seems to have happened when I got up. So that sucks.
Enjoy the show. 8:20, 1:20 a.m. here in Wales.
Yeah, he's not even paying attention now, so that sucks. I missed it. But he's raided my channel 3 times, I think, before. And each time it was always fun. I think the first time it was like really fun. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it helps a little bit. But I do appreciate y'all showing up, though. It obviously helps the numbers. Feel free to subscribe. I got a weekly show I'm doing now. The last couple of times he's raided, I was in the middle of like school, so I wasn't doing as much with the channel. But I got a lot going on with the channel right now. I do this like weekly, it has been a recap show, but I think I'm going to switch it into being more of a preview show. And, hey, I've been here repping the Bengals. I mean, I've been repping the Bengals since like 1990. I was born in 92, so 95, I think, is the first year that like I was old enough to pay any attention. But I've been on YouTube repping the Bengals since like 2019, basically, right? So, and that was not a time you want to be repping the Bengals. That was before Joe Burrow. That was before there was at least some hope, and now, you know. Lance Baker says, I feel like his analysis has a pro Packers slant. I don't know why. I don't even mind the fact that can be a homer, right? Like I feel like when he's talking about the Packers, he actually does do I feel a pretty decent job of being a little unbiased. Like I think he does a good job talking about the Packers. What I meant when I say he phones it in is sometimes I feel like he talks about other teams. Like I feel like he does this with the Bengals a lot. He talks about other teams, but he doesn't really seem to have actually watched the teams, right? Like he doesn't seem like he does really a lot of research on teams that to him aren't as worth doing research on, right? And I just noticed like sometimes he'll say some shit about the Bengals, and I think I've noticed this with other teams too, but obviously I'm going to notice it more with the Bengals. But I've noticed it feels like he just says shit because he knows, oh, the Bengals have a bad offensive line and their defense isn't like I remember during the Super Bowl run, he was constantly talking about how bad our defense was. And I'm like, our defense isn't bad. What are you talking about? Like, are they amazing? No, but they're not that bad. Like, I don't know. I feel like he phones in some of his analysis sometimes, but like, he's a great creator. He does a phenomenal job, and you know, I've been watching him since 2018, maybe even 17. I think 2017. I've been watching him since 2017 because I started watching him when I was like having some issues with my old job, and that was around 2017. I want to say. Might have been 18, actually. So I think about 2018 is when I started watching his show. Heard the recommendation on Zach Schaumler's podcast, and ever since then I'm like, hell yeah. Like I said, he inspired me to start this show. So I mean, I don't have the kind of he's got an incredible work ethic. Don't get me wrong, but he also had a very unique situation where like I got kids, right? He was able to basically throw everything into doing his show. And he also, it was a lot of hard work too. Like a lot of, like, as he said, staying up 24 hours just to get content out and stuff like that. And he was able to maintain that constantly over and over and over again. So you got to give him credit for that. But I just, I've got a lot more that I've got to pay attention to than he did, I think, at the time. Like, obviously he was a teacher, but, having kids changes the games. Having kids changes the game. It really does. He has a very general knowledge about most teams, which is probably why he has a general knowledge audience. That's probably fair. But that's the thing. I feel like he doesn't have a... He knows what he's talking about sometimes, right? Like with football analysis, like as far as like, what things he was schooling Brandon Perna the other day on GPS on like I forget exactly what it was, but it was like some specific metric. Nice return here by Cherry Jones to the 35, about the 39-yard line before he gets pushed out. But yeah, he was schooling. I forget what exactly the metric was, but Brandon Perna was like, I don't even know what that metric is, and Perna and Tom Grossi holding on the Bengals. Good Lord. But Tom Grossi was like, oh, it means this. It was like, it's, so obvious. And Brandon Perna was like, I don't care, you nerd. But like Grossi knows what he's talking about. Like, and he's very knowledgeable. I just feel like he doesn't. I feel like he gets most of his information about other teams from like Reddit or something. Like he doesn't actually, I think, sit down and look at the games. Sometimes he does, but not as much as I think he pretends like he does. Kyle tells it like it is. So honestly, about the Bengals and life itself, Kyle Phelps is your guy. Hey man, we talk about everything on here, and we try to do the best we can with whatever we got. Right. Again, I'm sorry, I've got a bit of a fever today, so that's my brain's not super working great. Chase Brown gets about a 5-yard gain on that play. It's out. That's good. Only really watches primetime games in the season. A lot of his takes come from Perna for outside pack and primetime. That's kind of how I feel about it, right? Like, I feel like he doesn't really actually know what's going on half the time. And he makes up for it by constantly putting out great material and, work ethic and everything like that. I also feel like his analysis could use some improvement. All right, it's going to be a pitch to Chase Brown this time, and he there's another pretty solid run. Picks up about 4 yards. I like the theme Stroud's on Grossi, but there's only one player, the quarterback with the name Stroud. So right. So that's like I'm not as familiar with the like I was a big fan of like the coach series and like the fan like season reaction things and then like the series they did with he did with the like the people in like the reality show style thing he was doing for a couple of seasons. Hold on. 3rd and 1. Flacco takes a shotgun snap, hands the ball off Samaje Perine. He goes nowhere. Oh, but he actually keeps moving, and the pile gets over the line. So on the second effort, the Bengals get the first down there. That's not too bad. But yeah, I don't follow the scripted series like I have followed a lot of his other series. Mostly because of my own channel. It's kind of hard to keep up with his channel as much as I used to. But I'm pretty sure that's more of like a callback to a former joke that he made. And now the joke's just established. Unless the Bengals wake up, they're done today, bye-bye. I know, man. I don't disagree with you. Joe Flacco, he's going to throw. Caught Jamar Chase. That's a beautiful throw by Flacco. And that's what he's capable of. That's one thing Jake Browning couldn't do. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, if they can scheme, if they can get a good scheme going, and the high end talent can do what the high end talent does, Joe Flacco can succeed with this team. Because he's a really talented ball thrower. All right, we need to kick this guy. Let me see if I can. Not gonna be. I'm somebody sabotage my stream like that. Unfortunately, I can't do that all by myself. Jamar Chase, nice pass there from Joe Flacco for about a 7-yard gain, and that's good. There's a flag, though. That's less good. I'm wondering if it's going to be holding on the Bengals, because that's usually what it tends to be. Is there another raid? Wait, is he raiding me again? Is it because like I was like? No, it's just behind. Okay, but okay. So when I pull it up on here, oh, so the flag's on the Packers. That's good. Hell yeah! I thought that was for sure going to be on the Bengals, but okay. Here we go. For some reason, my thing was like way behind. How can I kick this? Put the user in timeout. No, I just want to get him out of here. Hide user on this channel. There we go. All right. Joe Flacco under center. 1st and 10 from the 50. It's going to be a handoff to Samaje Perine. And he's doing a good job. There you go. Gets about 6 yards. This is what we need to see out of the offense, man. They're getting it. They're getting something done now. That's much better than what we were seeing. That's much better than the rest of this game's been so far. MJ says, was here last week with all the quarterback talks. How we feeling about the Flacco trade? I'm a big fan. And this is kind of what I was talking about with like, the analysis of Tom Grassi. I feel like he just like him and Brandon Perna just decided it was a terrible trade for the Bengals. And it's like, why? Why do you think it was a terrible trade? Joe Flacco is a good quarterback. It wasn't his fault that he was bad with the Browns. Like, I mean, if you watch what happened, it's a throw to T. Higgins, and that is broken up by the Packers. But yeah, like Joe Flacco's got a decent number of interceptions this year, but it's because if you watch the game, it's because like the Browns players keep dropping the ball, and some of those ended up being turnovers. Like Joe Flacco's 6 interceptions this year are not his fault. Regardless of how this turns out for the Bengals, I promise you, he's not going to throw many interceptions for the Bengals. Like that's not like I'm not saying he's not going to throw any more this season, but probably won't throw very many. So that's what I mean by like, the analysis, Nice play. And there you go. T. Higgins on the slant route on 3rd and 4 in the clutch situation. Joe Flacco gets the ball to T. Higgins and the drive extends. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what you weren't getting out of Jake Browning. And that's why, yes, I really like the Flacco move. Because Joe Flacco can get the ball to high-end talent if he needs to, right? Like, yeah, Jameis Winston might be a little more exciting. Russell Wilson might be, younger with a lot of talent, but he doesn't use his talent very well. And Jameis Winston's like, like a lottery pick, right? Like, you're going to get interceptions. You're going to get a ton of interceptions. Like, the problem with Jameis Winston is you're not going to win a lot of football games. You can maybe win a lot of football games with Flacco. All right. Speaking of which, he's going to roll out to the right. He's going to throw it to Andre Yoshivas, who just drops it, and I'm not entirely sure what that was, but whatever, 2nd and 10. But see, here's the thing, like with Joe Flacco, these bad plays are turning into, okay, well, we'll try to get him on the next play. Not, it's like an 8-yard sack, or I threw a random fucking interception out of nowhere, or, oh, hey, look, I had like 3 good plays all game, but for the most part, it was just interceptions and sacks. That's what you were getting with Jake Browning, and you're not going to get that with Flacco. It at least gives you more of a chance, and what I like about the Flacco trade is it gives you a reason to actually have some semblance of hope. Chase Brown doing they're doing a much better job of run blocking, and they continue pushing that pile. Man, he got about like 4 yards initially, and they just kept moving to get about 9 total yards on that play. That's what I'm saying. Like, this team looks like it believes again. And is that all Joe Flacco? No, it's obviously not all Joe Flacco, but the fact that like you feel like there's a shot, that is what makes the difference. And that's why you make that trade. And that's why I thought the Browns were crazy to trade us Joe Flacco. Because, like, why would you help us? Like, why would you help us? That makes no sense on their part. All right, it's going to be a handoff to Samaje Perine. And he, I think, might have gotten the first down. I don't know. It's going to be real close. That's going to be real close. Why are they saying... What? Are they saying we... I'm so confused. Where are they saying that we getting the ball? Because it looked like they were saying there's like a 5-yard loss, but that's not how forward progress works. Yeah, I think that's a first down. Barely, by the skin of your teeth. But yeah, they're getting the first down. That's a good call by the refs. I'm sure Tom Grassi's not happy, but, this week, fuck Tom Grassi, Just this week. I like him, but right now, just if you're a Packers fan, I hope you lose. And there you go. There's a good play to Jamar Chase, and he's going to pick about 6 yards. And this is the thing, man. Joe Flacco knows how to matriculate the ball down the field if he's got help. And that's, like, we can give him help, Maybe the offensive line isn't the greatest offensive line of all time, but it's yeah, like it's not any worse than the Browns is right now. And at least our wide receivers can catch, the Vikings game notwithstanding. But that's how I feel about the Flacco trade. I appreciate that they tried, I think he was the best guy you could have possibly gone and gotten. And Micah Parsons is offsides on this play. Might even be neutral zone infraction. Unless they get the Bengals on, like, false start or something. What are they going to call? Because Micah Parsons was definitely lined up offsides. Yeah, neutral zone infraction on the Packers. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Micah Parsons jumped early and wasn't able to jump back on sides. Yeah, he was in a 3-point stance, and look, oh shit, I think he just fell. He fell and he was off. He was off his off the marker there. It's fucking flying here, man. It's annoying. I got a Zevo spray. All right, I am gonna hook these comments back up here in a second. So Lance Baker, I'll put your comment up here on the screen here in a sec. But anyway, Joe Flacco, 1st and 10. And I'll explain why I'm not doing it just yet. Oh, man, it's another big drop by Yoshi. What are you doing, dude? All right, real quick. Let me hook this up. Okay, we're back. And we got Lance Baker back up here. So, yeah, like Tom Grossi, I use OBS for my streaming. But to get the comments up, I actually have a plugin that allows me to hook the chat up to the thing. The problem is I apparently can't do any moderation, and I only have a couple of moderators. They're not always available. Nice play by T. Higgins. He almost drags it into the end zone, but that's going to be a first down at the a inch yard line for the Bengals, and they're about to you punch this one in, man. With the way your defense is playing, you're right back in this game, man. Come on, Bengals, let's get this done. All right, Flacco. And they're just going to blow that play dead. There's a flag. What are we calling here? False start on the Bengals. All right. Annoying. Hope you feel better. Got a bolt. Update your scoreboard to quarter 3, by the way. Yeah, I've just been so... Grossi got me again, man. Grossi got me again, and I'm so... I'm honestly kind of mad. Not super mad. I'm a little mad, though, that I walked away for that one. I'm always so fucking nervous to walk away because I'm like, oh, I might get a Grossi raid. And then I'm like today, I'm just like, I'm not feeling good. I just need to go do it. He's not going to raid me today. And then he fucking does. All right, now what's going on? Is there another timeout? I think the Packers called the timeout. Or maybe the Bengals did. I don't know. I hope it was the Packers. What? I'm lost. Did they even... I don't even know if they called a timeout. I don't know. Whatever. T. Higgins coming off the field for some reason. That's not... You don't want T. Higgins off the field in this situation. Like, he doesn't look injured. I don't know what's going on with that. If you could punch the ball in the end zone, man, that's massive. That makes such a difference if you can punch the ball in the end zone here. You're right back in this game. If you settle for a field goal, you're not feeling as good. I mean, that helps, but... All right, Flacco is going to hand the ball off. Chase Brown, who finds a bit of a lane, not really enough of one, picks up about 2 yards. So now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 4. Or, I'm sorry, 2nd and goal from the 4. What sucks is we had it at the inch yard line. We false started. Yeah, I definitely updated that. But yeah, as far as the OBS goes, the plugin makes it difficult for me to do moderation, so I had to ban that bot, which means I had to pull up a whole new link to, get everything with. So one of these days I'll be able to have a lot of moderators, and I won't need to do that anymore. But right now it's a problem. Joe Flacco from the shotgun formation, he's getting rushed badly, and he just takes the fucking sack. Damn, man. It's Lucas Van Ness on the sack. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Man, I thought for sure we were about to get in the end zone. We still can, Flacco, you got to take your shot at the end zone now. Like, you know, if you, we can't be throwing like, you know, a yard down. We can't be doing a check down on this one unless the guy's for sure wide open, right? Unless you think for sure that guy's gonna fucking fly. Unless you think for sure that guy's got a path to the end zone, like, you know, like an incompletion here is about the same as a 5-yard run, right? You're still kicking a field goal. Which kind of sucks that we missed that we missed that field goal after the half, because like a field goal here would the game be 10-6 and you'd be within a score of this game. And with the way the defense is playing and the way the offense is playing better, then that makes a big difference. But, you know, 67-yard field goal is hard, man. I don't really begrudge Evan for that one. Concussion protocol, doctors yanked Higgins off the field. Sucks the team doesn't have one of their best dudes out there to score this touchdown. That's the thing, man. You want a big body guy who's like he can make contested catches. You want T. Higgins in for this series right here. So that sucks. Especially with them getting backed up like this, because, you know, Flacco's gonna have to throw in the end zone here, man. You know, gonna have to give them a shot. You know, unless P. Ryan in the backfield just got like actually right now, yeah, never mind. And see, that's exactly what you don't do. I don't like that. Why Flacco? Why are you throwing that there? So he throws it to Tanner Hudson, who picks up about 7 yards. But the Packers have him covered behind him, so you're basically relying on Tanner Hudson to get a big play there. Now the question is, do the Bengals go for it with the time remaining on the clock? Now, I mean, you're down 10, so I mean, like, I feel like a field goal. You're gonna need a field goal anyway. Might as well take it here. But I don't know. Whatever. The Bengals gonna go for it, and I don't hate it. Not what I would do, but I don't hate the decision. Let's see what happens. Flacco takes the snap, looking around, throws, and is that a touchdown? That is Tanner Hudson in for the touchdown! Zach Taylor bringing his balls right out of his pants and being like, I bet we can do it. There you go. Jake Browning would never. That's all I'm saying. Jake Browning would never. That was a beautiful throw by Flacco. And that is why we traded for Joe Flacco. That's why we traded for Joe Flacco, and why everybody who's like, oh, he's not any good, can suck a dick, dude. Honestly. Yeah, great play by Tanner Hudson to stay in. And they're zooming in on that knee, like, oh, was he in? But he got both feet down. So, like, there's nothing to challenge here. Like, the broadcast is being dumb here. But, like, he caught the ball. There's nothing there, so. Riverboat Zach is back. Hey, man, it worked out here. At least for a drive instead of a field goal, he went for it and the team got 7. There you go, man. We're only 3 points away from tying this ball game. We're a touchdown away from taking the lead. Kick is up. Bengals take 7 back. All right. We're still in this ball game, y'all. That's why you trade for Joe Flacco and not Jameis Winston. Because there's a good chance Jameis Winston throws an interception there and completely kills your home momentum, right? There's a good chance Russell Wilson throws into the back of the fucking end zone because he's not paying attention. Joe Flacco gives you a chance to get the ball to guys who can catch the ball. Now, when you're throwing to Jerry Jeudy, who has, you know, butterfingers, then, yeah, you're likely to throw a decent number of interceptions or something like that, but... Oh, boy. All right, well, for those of y'all who stuck around from the Grossi raid, I appreciate you. I'm a little frustrated that happened while I was taking like a short like health break, but you know, it is what it is. I've had this as my 4th. It might even be my 5th Grossi raid at this point. I don't know. He's raided my channel quite a few times, and unfortunately, I went back to school and that caused me a lot of trouble with keeping consistent on this channel, so I wasn't able to take advantage of a lot of those. But, you know, hopefully some of y'all stick around and we can put some stuff out, you know? I do appreciate y'all showing up. And even though, like, a bunch of people didn't stick around, that's still cool. I'm actually going to look through some of these. You could be the Ratbirds. Sure could, Eddie Murphy. We got the legendary Eddie Murphy who showed up, and I missed it. That's actually Eddie Murphy, guys. It's the real Eddie Murphy. You don't tell me that it's not, because I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's really Eddie Murphy. Kaijumi Kaiju. I feel like that guy's been in my channel before. I feel like I remember him. Maybe that's just me from watching Grossi. I don't know. Kitty goes, meow, keep the faith, Bengals. Well, that's the thing, man. We're within 3 now. We can get it done. Flacco's helping the offense, man. I mean, they're looking better than they did with Browning. Like, I mean, I know it's not looking great right now, but it's looking better than it did with Browning. Wake up. Sorry, bub. I was taking a health break. I think I have a fever. I'm not even sure I should be doing this game right now, to be honest with you. Why is he talking about last week's games? Because I was taking a break, man. All right, well, that's pretty much it. That was fun, though. Glad that happened. All right, the Bengals are going to allow a, a 25, 30-yard return on the kick. Pretty standard. All right, so Joe Flacco's actually been having a little bit better game than Jordan Love. He's completed more passes. He's also attempted more passes. Hasn't thrown for as many yards, but has a touchdown, whereas Jordan Love only has an interception. So, in this game, Grossi and Perna want to talk all the shit about us trading for Joe Flacco, but in this game, he's the better quarterback. I mean, not by a lot, but, I don't think anybody begrudge us for trading for Jordan Love. That's a big hit there by Geno Stone on, what was that, Bo Melton? It was on Bo Melton. It's going to be about a 2-yard gain by the Packers. Defense has been playing generally well today. Not perfect, but generally well today. And if they can keep it up, then we got a shot in this game. That's a big hit by Geno Stone, but he was inbounds, and he didn't lead with the helmet or anything. The ref's rightfully not calling a flag on that play. 2nd and 7 from the 37-yard line, I believe. Jordan Love takes a shotgun snap. He's going to throw and caught. Damn. That's going to be barely a first down, but a first down nonetheless for Romeo Doubs and his alien helmet. Damn. Got to do better than that in coverage, man. At least I haven't seen a whole lot of other instances of Barrett Carter being dropped out in the coverage, because the whole reason the Packers have a touchdown right now is because that dude just doesn't know how to fucking cover. I like Barrett Carter, but apparently not as a coverage linebacker. It's going to be a handoff, and, oh man, you got to do better than that. Tackle him! Josh Jacobs runs for about 11 yards. Defense is starting to break down a little bit. Got to do better than that, boys. Got to play a full 60 minutes, I know you've done your best in this game, and it'd be nice if the offense would have done better, but the Packers have a good defense too, and y'all got to play like wire to wire, man. Like what you're doing right now is not good. Demetrius Knight missing the tackle too there. And that wasn't even an instance of him like focusing more on trying to get a turnover. That was just poor tackling technique. All right, there you go. I think it's TJ Slayton meets Josh Jacobs at the former Green Bay Packer, TJ Slayton, by the way, meets Josh Jacobs at the line and is not able to bring him down in a Bengals positive direction, but only gives him about 2 yards there, so 3 yards, I guess. 2nd and 7 now. So, man, if we can hold him to a field goal, then, we still got a chance to go take the lead on the next drive. Offense is starting to heat up, too. Hey, technically we could stop them here. Like, they're not even quite in field goal range yet. But, Jordan Love throws, caught, and now they're in field goal range. Good Lord. Just people missing tackles left and fucking right. Damn, man. All right, now you're pretty much looking at holding them to a field goal. At best, right? They gotta stop. They gotta stop focusing so much on trying to get a turnover, man. Like it's great if you can punch the ball out, but what's more important is tackling. You know, it's more important that you don't let up like 20 yards on the play. When's the last time they forced a fumble out by punching it? You know, like guess it happens occasionally, but the number of times you just have a bad play because of trying to do that, I don't know if it works in your favor. And there's a safe pass by Jordan Love to, what was that, Luke Musgrave, I think, 88. And that's all they really fucking need, you know. Not going to be a first down, but it's like about a 7-yard gain. We can't play coverage. .88, is that Luke Musgrave? It is Luke Musgrave. Okay, I was right. Thought I was. I wanted to make sure. All right, Jordan Love in the shotgun formation. Hands the ball off Josh Jacobs, and he just gets the first down easily. Come on, man. Man, this is freaking defense, man. Like, they've had a good game, but are you really just like, you know, like with a shot at really turning something around here, are you really just going to, like, let them get it going now? Like, come on, man. You got to stop them. Like, you've got to stop them. It's 1st and 10 now from the 17-yard line. Jordan Love going to hand the ball off Josh Jacobs, and the Bengals give him about 2 yards, maybe 3, before he gets taken down. That's the end of the third quarter. Quarter 4. All right. Well, they've got a shot, man. Offense is heating up. You know, if the defense can hold them to a field goal, then the offense has a shot to go get the lead. And then, you know, at that point, it's just about maintaining the lead. But, good Lord, this defense, when it matters the most, needs to come through. And that's one thing they're not great at doing, is coming through when it matters the most. They're good at looking flashy at times, but when it matters the most, they have not been getting it done this year. Now, granted, they haven't been, you know, it's not like even if they did, the offense would come through and help, but the defense has largely been not getting it done when it really matters. A lot of complaining on Bengals Twitter right now. Like, guys, I think Flacco looks okay, man. Like, you know, he's worse than Browning. He's not. What do you mean he's worse than Browning? Flacco hasn't, like, somebody's like, at least Browning can move before he throws a pick. Flacco hasn't thrown a pick. You know, like the Bengals have been, like, surviving with Flacco. I completely disagree with that analysis. I think Bengals Twitter is massively overreacting to Flacco. I think Flacco's fine, man. Flacco's doing just fine. You know, maybe not great. Like, you know, you're not getting like the super high flying stuff you'd be getting out of Joe Burrow. But I think Flacco's doing like for what, you know, for what's possible. I think Flacco's doing fine. My dad's got a lot to say about this game so far. Hate this concussion protocol crap. That's fair. My dad agrees. You know, once, you know, like, I mean, if they can just get in sync, they'll be better. And that's the issue. With Jake Browning, you never felt like there was a shot of getting in sync because, like, once you start getting some chemistry, he throws a fucking interception. You know? With Flacco, at least, you know, you can survive until you do what you got to do. Jordan Love's under center. He's going to hand the ball off Josh Jacobs, and like fucking butter, nobody even comes even remotely close to getting in his way. And the Packers take a 15-7 lead pending the extra point. I'm sorry, 16-7 lead pending the extra point. I don't know why I said 15. Man. Like, it's like I feel bad for criticizing the defense because they've been keeping us in the game this whole time. But the problem is, now that we really need you to, like, be playing the way you were playing earlier, now you're just letting them fucking do whatever they want on the field. That was an awful drive by the defense when we really needed them to step it up, man. I don't like that at all. All right, now we're like, we got to get a touchdown on this next drive, or we're kind of fucked, And it's like, can they get a touchdown on this next drive? I think it's quite possible. The offense looked like it woke up a little bit, but man, that's just a gut punch, Like, I don't want to be that mad at the defense, but they kind of deserve to be mad at after that drive, Like, I don't know. I don't know. That does suck that they took T. Higgins out for that snap, too, because, I mean, they ended up in the end zone anyway, so it turns out okay, but, man, that just sucks so much, man. Like, the offense finally gets it together and the defense falls apart. Like, come on. Well, you've been playing all game and you let that fucking happen. Like, come on, guys. God damn. It's demoralizing, Like, you think they're gonna give you a chance, and they're just like, oh well, we were just kidding about that whole being good thing. I know the Packers have a good offense, but, like, come on, if you're playing like this all game, you should be able to continue to keep the pressure on, especially when the offense goes and gets you a touchdown, and then you've got some momentum on your side. That's just really fucking frustrating, man. Dude, it is fucking burning up in here. Maybe that's part of what my issue is. Sorry if this is gonna cause the quality of the audio to suffer a little bit. I don't know if it will or not, but it's starting to get real hot in here, and obviously I've got a fucking fever today, so probably not the best. Man, I'll tell you what, the fact that we're going toe-to-toe with the Packers right now, who are a good team. Now, obviously, they lost to the Browns, and they struggled with the Cowboys, but I don't think anybody argues that the Packers are a good team. The fact that we're going toe-to-toe with them right now, our defense has played well throughout a lot of it, like, it makes you feel like that there's something to this team if they can just get their shit together consistently, but the lack of consistency is killing them. All right, Charlie Jones is going to return it from the 4. Let's see, 20, makes a cut and falls down at the 23. Not great. Not great. Not great. Quite bad. Quite annoying. I mean, better that than getting the ball at the 20, I guess, but... Alright, come on, offense. Come on, if you can go down and get a touchdown, then, the defense has played well enough today that they deserve to be able to have a bad drive, right? So, can the offense get something going? Flacco's going to throw. He's got Jamar Chase. Nice catch. There you go. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, man. Got to play complimentary football, and if the defense is going to have a bad drive, the offense can come out here and do better, then that gives the defense a chance to shake it off and have a better drive next time, right? Now, this is one play, but hey, look, Flacco's out there doing stuff that, like, Jake Browning would fucking never, dude. Bengals Twitter losing their fucking minds because they don't understand nuance, I guess. Which we need more than nuance for this team to win football games, but it's better than it was. All right, Chase Brown's going to take the pitch, and he's just got no blocking at all. That's awful. Packers trying to rip that ball out, but Chase Brown said no. 2nd and 11. Man, you gotta do something, man. Like, Joe Flacco just got here. You can't expect the whole fucking thing to be on his shoulders. Gotta be run blocking better. And that's part of what happened on that last drive is Chase Brown was able to run the ball a little bit better. Kept them on their toes a little bit. It's going to be a pass to Jamar Chase, who picks up about 5 yards, maybe. Still going to be 3rd and 6, though. Got to keep this drive alive, man. Like this one, this is where the momentum starts to slip out of your hands if you're not careful. You know, you've still got a real good chance in this game, but you've got to you got to stay above water right now, man. If you go 3 and out here, or rather, you know, 1st down and then 3 and out, then I don't even know what you do at that point. Flacco's getting rushed immediately, and he's got T. Higgins. That was a great heads-up play by Flacco to get that ball off. And I'm sorry, what was that Bengals Twitter? What was that about Bengals Twitter? Huh? What was that? Oh, at least Jake Browning can move before he throws interceptions? Well, Flacco didn't move shit. Took a big hit, to be fair. But he got the ball off to T. Higgins. Made it happen where he needed to. What was that Bengals Twitter? I'm sorry. I thought he was just as bad as Jake Browning. Alright, I'm done gloating. Let's get a touchdown. I'll gloat more if we win this game. Flacco, shotgun formation. He's got Chase Brown in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, rolls back. Got a little bit of pressure, but he's got a wide open T. Higgins. Let's go. There you go. All right, this offense is moving, y'all. I was about the 28-yard line is where we're going to have the ball at now. I'm sorry, what was that? What was that Bengals Twitter about Joe Flacco being no better than Jake Browning? I'm sorry. But shut up. Really. Hell of a catch there. Was that Emeka Egbuka? No, it wasn't. It was Johnson, I think. Number 15 of the Buccaneers. Big touchdown catch. Overthrow by Baker Mayfield, and he still hauled that one in. Jerry Jeudy would never. Nice block by Chase Brown to give Flacco time to throw, and he throws it to the dirt. That was a waste of an amazing block by Chase Brown. Oh well. I think that ball might have been tipped a little bit, but even then, like, I think it was a little off target. I think that ball might have been tipped a little bit, but even then, like, if you do get it to Drew Sample there, I don't know if it's going to do a whole lot. All right, 2nd and 10. Come on, let's keep it going. We got to get in the end zone here, man. Like, a field goal, I don't even know if a field goal is really going to do a whole lot at this point. Well, it gets you down to 7, I guess. All right, Flacco, shotgun snap, throws short to Brown, and that's an attempted screen pass that goes for like 2 yards, and that didn't work. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. Come on, man. God, we gotta. Like, I know a field goal makes it a 1-possession ball game, but like we gotta get the ball in the end zone. Just for momentum, for like, you know, really kind of pushing through this funk, you know? From the 27-yard line now, it's 3rd and 7. Joe Flacco's under center. I'm sorry, he's shotgun formation. He's going to throw it quick, and that's off the hands of Andre Yoshivas, who's been awful today, by the way. I don't know if, John, if you're still watching here, I know that's your boy, but like Yoshi has been absolutely, he looks like a Browns receiver out there with all those fucking drops. He had his hands on it too. God damn, Yoshi, come on, man. He's usually such a sure-handed guy too. That sucks. All right, it's going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt here. 4th and 7. Kick is up, and that is, looked a little weird at first, but it's going to be good. Man, Yoshi. Usually so fucking reliable, but he's just had a case of the drops today, man. It's just not been good. All right, well, the Bengals get within a score, so if the defense can do better on this next drive, then, I mean, we got a chance to tie it on the following drive. Maybe we can tie the Packers. Who knows? Field goal 17-10 now. Sure is, Jim. It's only a one-score game, so hopefully the Cincy D can stop Green Bay from scoring and give Flacco and the offense some time to score. Yeah, well, hopefully they can do better. You know what? I'm going to pee for the D. See if I don't even know if it'll work, but let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, hold on. You're right, Jim. Let me update that real quick. My bad. All right. I'll be back. I'm going to pee for the D. Guys. I had a vision. In the urine. DJ Turner's going to get a pick 6 on this drive. I saw it. Closed my eyes. And it was a premonition of what's to come. DJ Turner's going to get a pick 6. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Yeah, my bad. It's 17-10 now, though. Sorry. All right. If the urine is truly prophetic, we will find out. All right, it's going to be a return to the 25-35. Oh, man, that's bad special teams coverage there. So that's not great. If DJ Turner is indeed going to get a pick 6 on this drive, he's going to have a long way to run. Steelers bury Browns. It's because the Browns are fucking garbage. I think we've shown in this game, at the very least you can see in this game, that Joe Flacco was not as bad, is not as bad of a quarterback as he looked like on the most recent version of the Browns. Like, I don't think that was his fault. So, from the 38... it's going to be 2 fake handoffs, and it's going to be a toss to Romeo Doubs, who's open, and it's quite terrible coverage by DJ Turner, so maybe my urine is not actually prophetic. Who knows? Mikey's back. That's cool, man. That's cool, man. I'm really hoping that the Bengals defense can come through here, but they just gave up a big play to Romeo Doubs, and I mean, they got like 10 more yards till the Packers are in field goal range. So, well, 15 yards till the Packers are in field goal range. So, not great. Not what you want to see. Still got like 10 minutes left to play, to be fair. 54, 53, 52 for time sinking purposes. Going to be a fake handoff. Jordan Love's going to wind up. He throws, and that's knocked away. Whoever did that was a good play. Geno Stone might have been. I think it was Geno Stone who knocked that ball away. Let me see. All right, Love throws, and no, it was DJ Turner. Okay, so making up for the bad play. DJ Turner doing a great job of heads up and knocking that ball away. I had to go chop it up with TJ Jones on the host of the State of the Saints podcast. I'm sure you need a group therapy is what you're doing there. So, from the 47-yard line, Jordan Love's under center. And this is going to be another fake handoff. And he's going to throw over the middle, and that's caught by Josh Jacobs. And they do stop him from getting a first down, but it's going to be like 3rd and 2 now. So it's at least decent tackling, which is not something you've seen all day today. It is still not very good coverage, but at least they tackled the fucking man. All right, 3rd and 2, man. Get off the field here, please. I don't even know. Like they're probably in field goal range at this point, but just get off the fucking field and keep time on your side. I guess it'd be a long field goal, but it's probably within range. I don't know. For the new guy, maybe not. All right, Jordan Love, fake handoff, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, and he gets out. He's going to... Oh, what are you doing? Oh, my God. He just juked like 4 Bengals defenders out of their fucking socks and gets the first down. Man, they were like apparently good coverage. Jordan Love couldn't figure out where to go with the ball, and you had... who's this? Barrett Carter, again on the fucking whiff tackle. Miles Murphy finally brings him down, but B.J. Hill gets fucking juked out of his socks. And Demetrius Knight. And fucking Jordan Battle. I don't think Demetrius Knight got juked out of his socks. I think he was in coverage, technically. Well, from the 35-yard line now, it's going to be a handoff to Josh Jacobs, and he's stiff-arming the fuck out of Jordan Battle, who gives him like 14 yards. I fucking hate this team sometimes, guys. I really do. Packers score game over. Well, they haven't scored yet, Jim. And it's also not even if the Packers do score, it's not game over. We're still in the middle of the fourth quarter. My dad said if the Bengals win, he's going to say great things about Joe Flacco on his shirt. Well, I hope he does. Welcome to Depression Land. This fucking defense, dude. They're just looking like they played generally well all game, and then they just fall apart when it really matters. From the 19-yard line, Jordan Love, he's going to look around, he's going to throw. He's got Tucker Kraft, and, oh my God, I think he got in for the touchdown. God damn it. Well, the urine was not prophetic. We know that. Jim, I don't know if you're ahead of me, but if you are, kindly please stop spoiling the game. It's 23-10 now. Wishful thinking there. Accidentally just moved the wrong score. My defense sucks too. But our defense doesn't suck, Mikey. They've been generally pretty good today. They just fell apart when it mattered. And once again, because they're just they're focusing more on trying to knock the ball out, like punch the ball out, than they are on actually like stopping the guy. And the extra point's up, and that's good. Yeah, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter, you know? Okay, I keep changing the wrong thing. Wishful thinking. But man, it's gonna take a lot now. You know, I mean, if we can come out and get a touchdown on this next drive, we still got time. But the defense has got to come through, man. Mac Jones fumbled. Sucks for him. Sucks he's not playing the Saints, huh? Buccaneers winning 27-19 in the fourth quarter. Mac Jones can't be fumbling. That's a gut punch, too, if you're got a shot to win that game and you're fumbling in the fourth quarter. That's not good. Chargers, okay, I already went through all those scores. So right now you got the Raiders up on the Titans 20-10. Seahawks beat the Jaguars 20-12. Then obviously the Buccaneers beating the 49ers 27-19. So tonight we got Lions Chiefs, and regardless of what happens with the Bengals, I hope the Chiefs lose. Bye-bye, not sure what you're chatting with the Saints fans, but your choice. Are you only a dick, Jim? I'm cool with the trash talk. You want to trash talk, that's fine. But like, do you ever have anything to say other than just being a fucking dick all the time? Like it kind of gets boring sometimes, honestly. What did you say? I don't remember what I said. Did someone say depression? Mikey did. What did I do, Jim? Jim's just taking shots, dude. He's a fucking Vikings fan. It's not like they have anything all that much better, so I think he just likes making other people feel bad. I don't know. I mean, you're not going to get to me. I don't fucking care, but you know, it does seem like why do you even fucking show up if all you're going to do is just be an asshole all the time? Like, whatever. You do what you do. I appreciate you being in my chat, but I don't know, man. It just feels like a sad existence. Defense took a nap during most of this drive and gave up the touchdown. That score was such a backbreaker. That's what I'm saying, dude. This defense has done a solid job all day, and then they put that on the fucking field when it really matters the most. Like, what are they fucking doing? Like, I'm not even like I've been saying, like, you know, bless the defense's heart, like, all game, but right now the offense finally wakes up and the defense starts doing that shit. Like, I have no sympathy anymore. I have no sympathy. They just get run the fuck over. They just completely lose their fucking cool. God damn, man. Alright, it's going to be a touchback after a very strong kick. Where's my fucking Zevo spray, dude? This fly is pissing me off. Just show a job application on stream and he will leave. Dude, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like I said, if you want to come to my chat and you want to participate in my chat, it helps my numbers. But, like, are you really just, like, is your only point in life being an asshole? Like, goddamn, man. I don't know. You have every right. You have your American right to be an asshole if you want. I don't know. It's not like you're not going to hurt me any more than the Bengals do. I can promise you that. I just don't understand. While we're in the middle of this Pizza Hut commercial, I don't have a whole lot to say about the Bengals right now, man, other than, like, you know, I'm out of sympathy for the defense. You know, like, I had some, then the offense started playing well and the defense fell apart. Like, you can't fucking do that and me continue to have sympathy for you. You know, you can't just let the Packers, with how well you've been playing all game, you can't just let the Packers march down the fucking field like that. It's just, I don't understand the mentality. Your ain't stink just like last year and you know it, okay? All right, Jim. Mac Jones' knee was down, of course, they ruled him out. They ruled him down. Yeah, dude, eventually, I'm going to be honest with you, Jim, eventually people are just going to start ignoring you. Like, that's kind of what I've been telling Mikey. I've been telling Mikey, just ignore Jim. Just stop talking to him. Eventually, people are just going to start ignoring you, and you're just... I mean, I'm about to that point, because, like, all you've been doing lately is pissing Mikey off, and you've been derailing my fucking podcast. And, you know, like, on my show, I can fucking take it, but Mikey's a 16-year-old kid, man. And it's fucking sad for a 90-year-old man like yourself to be fucking bullying a 16-year-old like that. And I can fucking take it, but eventually I'm going to get tired of your shit and just start ignoring you, man. I'm not going to ban you from my channel. You can do whatever you want. I appreciate your help with the numbers, but why are you such a fucking dick all the time? Like, it's like you never have anything constructive to say. You just fucking talk trash constantly. You do what you do, I guess. I can take it too. It's when it gets too high. It's always high with him, man. All right, Joe Flacco's under center. I'm sorry, he's shotgun formation. He throws it to Jamar Chase, who is open, and picks up about 9 yards there, so that's a pretty good offensive play. And we got to get in the end zone, man, on this drive. Like, you know, because the defense just fucking fell apart. There's still a shot. We still have a shot because it's like midway through the fourth quarter, right? Because, like, the defense can come out and have a better drive next time. But we've got to get it going right now. Like, we have to get it going right now. There's no fucking... There's no two ways about it right now. It's going to be a handoff to Pirine. He picks up a first down. It's only about a 2-yard gain, but that's all they needed. That is all they needed. Yeah, 2 straight touchdown drives by the Packers, and I'm running out of sympathy for the defense. Especially when the offense has put up 10 straight points. You know, the offense finally got something together. They look like they still got something together, while Amarius Mims is banged up, and that's not great. Staying in the huddle, but hopefully that doesn't throw him off too badly. Packers looking like they're going to rush 2 on Amarius Mims, and he does a pretty good job there. So Flacco over the middle to Noah Fant, who picks up about 6 yards there. Matriculating the ball down the field. That 49ers defense is pathetic. Kind of like ours when the game is on the line. Now Amarius Mims is going off the field, which sucks because even through the whatever was bothering him, even through whatever injuries there, he was looking okay. But now he's just like, I'm in such pain. Hopefully he's okay. All right, well, Cody Ford's out there. That's a depressing sight. Joe Flacco, shotgun snap. He's going to throw. He's got Jamar Chase, but he throws a little too far. And I think they're going to call pass interference on the Packers here. I think that's probably the right call because Jamar probably could have gone back and got it. Yeah, pass interference. There you go. That's a good call by the refs. Can't be doing that. Just saw the touchdown by Tucker Kraft. So you must be ahead of me then, which is wild because I'm almost always ahead of you these days. But whatever. Yeah, that was definitely. He's like, what? Well, you're literally like grabbing his collar while he's trying to go back and get the ball. That's obvious. You're not even looking for the ball. That's obvious pass interference. I don't know what he's complaining about. That's clear pass interference. So now the Bengals got the ball at the 35-yard line, and you got to get in the end zone. Like the field goal doesn't do it. All right, Jamar Chase going to get the ball there. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain. Throw to the outside on the dig route, or it might have actually been a corner route. I can't. Not a corner. What do you call it? It's an out route. I think it was probably an out route, most likely. Came on the 49ers game. So the 49ers game is ahead of the real broadcast. That's wild. That's wild. Kind of obnoxious, but okay, whatever. Jamar Chase looking pretty good on this drive. Joe Flacco, shotgun formation, takes the snap, throws. He's got T. Higgins, who does not manage to bring that one down. That would have been a tough grab. That was good coverage by the Packers, too. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 now. And you got to stay alive, man. You've got to stay alive. And, like, you're man, we got, like, 5 minutes left to go in the game, too. So, like, you got to start picking up the pace, too. Yeah, I did have another Grossi raid, depressed Bengals fan, but I'm kind of sick today, so I stepped away for a little bit, and to go get some water, maybe potentially even get some ibuprofen or something, and that's when they raided, and I still appreciate him doing it, but it just sucks that the timing was the way it was. Jamar Chase with the incredible grab. There's gonna be a flag on that play, and Jamar Chase looks pissed. I hope it's not on him. But I think he was being interfered with. Like, it's going to be holding or something. It's got to be. Oh, okay, illegal contact on the defense. Okay, so illegal hands to the face. That's going to be declined because we got the first down. So, didn't you say you thought you weren't going to get another Grossi raid? Well, at this point, yeah, I did say that. At this point, I don't feel that way anymore. Because I said that because Grossi seems to like to not want to do the same people over and over again. But obviously at this point. Flacco, shotgun snap. He's going to throw it short. He's got Chase Brown to this about a 6-yard gain. That's not too bad, but it's in the middle of the field, man. Like we got to pick up the pace. Like starting to lose the clock here. Bengals are trying. They've been trying. Like, that's the thing, man. That's what I liked about Joe Flacco. That's what I freaking really liked about Joe Flacco, man. Is it gives them a chance to feel like they have something. Flacco throws that one out of bounds, which I'm actually kind of cool with because it stops the clock, and if there's nowhere to go, then there's nowhere to go. 3rd and 5, and it's, with 4:21 left to go in the game, there's no kicking field goals anymore, so, you got 2 more downs to go anyway. But as far as, I didn't think I was going to get another Grossi raid. That's because he doesn't seem to want to do the same. And it seemed like he was starting to recognize that it was me. But I don't know. Maybe there's only so many options. So, I guess with just how much I stream, I'm bound to get another one at some point anyway. So I'm not gonna say that anymore. I'll probably get another one someday. Just sucks that I missed that one. Flacco is gonna roll back. He throws, and that's knocked away. He sort of had Jamar Chase, but that one got knocked away. That was a little underthrown by Joe Flacco, too, but it's also kind of like there wasn't really anywhere else he could have thrown that. Because if you throw that high, Jamar Chase almost certainly isn't coming down in bounds. So 4th and 5, and you got to go for it here. And this is pretty much the game. Like, if you can get the first down, that's not ideal. You want to get in the end zone as quickly as possible because you're running out of time. But if you can get a first down, then, I mean, you still got a shot, I guess. All right, Flacco, shotgun formation, and there's the Packers taking a timeout, so they're icing Joe Flacco. He's already ice cold, dude. How can you raid someone with 1,200 comments at a time? Well, that's literally what rating means. Like it's literally, they just basically send everybody, and they're like, we're raiding! And, you know, boost your numbers a little bit, and that's literally what the raid means. You know, that's what it is. The 1,200 comments at a time. That's how that goes. I didn't get 1,200 comments, I think, because they saw that I wasn't live. They saw that it was a video, so I got, like, I think I got about, like, 40 comments before they just kind of were like, oh, this guy's not here. And that sucks, but you've seen many of Tom's videos the last 3 years. Dude, he puts out so much content, it's hard not to see his videos. He's a really good creator. Like, he's really prolific. I have my beef with him as far as analysis goes, but even then, that's just me nitpicking. That's not, like, the fact that he's still out there doing it, I respect the fuck out of that, you know? All right, Flacco, shotgun snap, rolls back. He has time to throw. He's got Jamar Chase, and that's a touchdown! Let's go! Let's go! That was tight coverage, but Jamar's out here grittying it in the end zone. And the Bengals are 7 points away now, and they're going to have to play some defense. But, they're in the game. They're in the game, y'all. They got a shot. And here's the thing. Even if we don't win this game, there's still a long season to go. And it looks like with Flacco, to me, maybe Bengals Twitter might not agree, but it looks to me like with Flacco, they got a shot to win some games. You know, maybe they can't beat the Packers right now, and that sucks. But are we going to go for 2? Why are we going for 2? I don't understand this one. We're down 8 points. So you're going to have to go for 2, like, just to tie the game later. All right, whatever. Flacco has got a bit of a pocket. He's rushing around, throws, caught. Hey, we got the 2. I don't know about that risk, but whatever. So it's 24-18 now, and I will say, what that means is if you can get the ball back, you can go win the game. If you can get the ball back, you can go win the game. That's crazy. All right, well, the Bengals, I put 17 because I'm full of shit. It was 16, now it's 18. So I was rated once. I noticed some teams do that. Look, there are plenty of instances where it makes sense to go for 2. In that particular situation, I don't know. Like, it worked. I just feel like the risk-reward factor is odd at best, right? But if it worked, it worked, you know? Like, I'm not going to get too upset if it worked. I'm just going to state my opinion. But whatever. Now the defense has got to come out, and defense got to play some real football, man. If we let a touchdown go, then we're fucked, right? If we let a field goal go, we're kind of fucked, you know? Let's see. If they get a field goal, then it's going to be 27-18. So yeah, we're like that's a 2-score ball game. So this is why I'm saying like how much benefit does the 2 points really get us, right? Like, I mean, it's nice, you know. It's like if we do play defense, then we can go win the football game. But I don't know, like, because we're not really that much better off right now than we were. You know, maybe it helps a little bit with momentum, I guess, but that's a weird decision. It's fine. Always disagreed when teams do that. Yeah, I'm like, hey, if it worked, it worked. Can't get too upset if it works. And that's at least proof that Zach Taylor is really, you know, invested in, you know, like, he's still invested, and he's still like, hey, we can go do this, guys. Let's, you know, hype everybody up and get going and stuff. I just feel like if you don't get that 2-point conversion, you're really putting yourself behind the fucking 8 ball, you know? And like, the risk is way higher than the reward, right? Because it's like, cool, we got the 2 points. I'm not really sure how much that does for us, though. That Flacco to Chase TD was a thing of beauty. Oh, it was it was a good pass by Flacco, but boy, that was a play by Chase to get that in there. On the 2-point, that 2-point conversion might have been Flacco's best play of the game because he had to scramble around in the pocket and still make a good throw to find a man open in the end zone. So oddly enough, that 2-point conversion might have been Joe Flacco's best play of his Cincinnati Bengals career so far, which has only been, most of 4 quarters. But strange they did that. Now we will see what happens the rest of the game. It was strange, Jim. It's fine if you make it. I'm not going to be that upset if you made it, but all right, special teams, do something, please. Instead, they just let him dance around in the backfield, and he's gets it. Oh, good Lord. Gets it out to about like the 38-yard line or something. Come on, man. I don't like that at all. Bengals roughed the best punter of all time. Sucks. Sucks to suck. Love to see the Packers lose. Well, hopefully we give you your wish, Jim. Hope so. Really do. Really hope we can give that to you. I really do. I would love to see the Packers lose too. I can't say I normally care that much if the Packers lose. I do think sometimes it's funny. Hold on. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff to Josh Jacobs, and, oh, man, still awful tackling. And they only give him 5, but, man, come on. They're basically having to, pull him down by his pinky finger. Yeah, I'm normally kind of ambivalent about how the Packers do, but I do think, their fan base has a bit of an arrogance to it, right? So it is kind of funny sometimes when they lose. And especially in games they shouldn't lose. Like when they lost to the Browns, I thought that was pretty kind of funny. I don't like the Browns winning, but not like the Browns are going to be a threat. 2nd and 5. Jordan Love's under center. And he's doing a lot of hand motions there. And it's going to be a fake handoff, and it's going to be good pressure, and he's sacked! Let's go! Geno Stone is the one taking the sack there. Or not taking the sack, delivering the sack there. Let's go! That's what you want to see. 3rd and 9 now, and you've got a real opportunity to get off the field and give the ball back to Joe Flacco. And what a story that would be, man. What a story that would be. Miles Murphy doing a good job of, getting that first contact on Jordan Love. Couldn't bring him down, but luckily Geno Stone was there to clean it up. All right, 3rd and 9. Come on. Get off the field. Get off the field. Come on. For the love of God. Packers draining all that clock they can right now. Jordan Love's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw and fucking... Well, that might be it, y'all. Jordan Battle just gets fucking roasted and gives the Packers the first fucking down. With all the clock, with all the time they drained off the clock, and now they're in field goal range too. That might be it, man. That might be just about it. I think we got all our timeouts, which is nice, but we're basically gonna have to rely on like a missed or a blocked field goal at this point. They got the ball at the 29-yard line. God, that's such a fucking gut punch, dude. This defense, just when you need them to come through, they can't get it done. I'm almost to the point where, now I'm like, yeah, go ahead and, try to punch that ball out. Might as well. Did the Bengals take a timeout? Because the clock has stopped. Bengals did why did the Bengals take a timeout? You still got the 2-minute warning. I don't quite understand that. Well... At best now, we're going to have 30 seconds left. If we stop them for a field goal, at best we're going to have 30 seconds left, man. And if they get the field goal, then we're fucked anyway. Flacco already beat the Packers once this year. Yeah, but we had a shot, man. After that sack on Jordan Love, we had it. We had the shot, and then Jordan Love just gets completely roasted, man. Man, this defense this defense can be good, but they completely fold when it really matters. And now that the offense looks a little bit better with Joe Flacco, you're really starting to notice how the defense just gets absolutely freaking roasted alive in the most key moments. It's just it's disheartening because like you feel like you get yourself into this position, and also you're like, oh, the defense has had a good game today. I think we can count on them, and then they go out and do that, and it's every goddamn game. You just haven't been noticing it lately because the offense has been so bad. And obviously the offense hasn't been great today, but the offense has been a lot better down the stretch, and the defense just falls apart. It's so demoralizing, man. At least we know we got a shot with Flacco, right? Like losing to the Packers, especially with how good their defense is, like, you can stomach losing to the Packers, and yeah, we're about to be 2-4, but if we can beat the Steelers next week, that helps. And then we got Jets, Bears, and then the Steelers again, and then the Patriots. Like, I mean, theoretically, that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 winnable games. Oh, I'm sorry, I counted the Bills. I mean, hey, the Patriots beat them, right? But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 relatively winnable games. I mean, I know the Steelers keep winning, but like it was looking close with the Browns there for a minute, so you never know. Apparently, Gesicki and Hendrickson both got hurt today. That might explain why the defense fell apart, if Hendrickson's hurt. Let me see what's going on with him. I'm just telling y'all, man, like it just looks so much more fun to watch, at least with Joe Flacco in there. And yeah, if we lose, we lose. But at least it's worth watching. Oh, man. Dax Hill over here getting himself turned around and giving Jordan Love like 8 yards on the fucking scramble when he probably could have stopped him. What's even going on with Trey Hendrickson? Yeah, it does kind of feel like Trey Hendrickson could have closed this one out. So maybe you give the defense a little bit of a break if Trey Hendrickson's not in there, but they still got to do better than that, man. The coverage, just no fucking coverage. Feels like that's always the biggest problem, is like we have no defensive backs that we can really count on, Like yeah, DJ Turner can get the job done. Cam Taylor-Britt can get the job done, but we don't have anybody out there who's like, that guy's got his man. We don't have anybody like that. Our safeties are, average at best. Geno Stone getting that pick at the beginning of the game, but obviously right now it ain't doing us too much good. We're pretty much at the point where like maybe we can get a fucking fumble recovery or something, right? But like the Packers just gonna run the rest of this clock out, and we're gonna, even if they miss the field goal, we're kind of screwed. Yeah, we're at the 2-minute warning right now. So barring a fucking turnover, and we only have 1 timeout left. So barring a turnover, we're at best going to get like 30 seconds left in this game. And if the Packers if we don't block the field goal, then we're screwed. Packers currently with a 99.7% chance to win this game. Best chance the Bengals had all night. Was with 4:41 left in the third quarter, and they were only down by 3 points. And then the very next play, let's see, Jordan Love passed short middle to Romeo Doubs for an 8-yard gain on 2nd and 7. So that was a first down. They could have gotten something going down there, then maybe they could have taken the ball back a little bit. But that's around the time the defense started fucking collapsing. I'm sorry, actually the best chance we had was still only a 25% chance, but I don't think this is a good representation of that. But we had some chances today, man. We just completely shat the bed when it mattered the most. And that sucks because the offense did get going. And then the defense decided they didn't want to play football anymore. That sucks so much, man. It's like what's nice is like the formula's there. You know, like we're about to be 2-4, and you still feel like there's a shot that they could turn this around. You know, like I mean, if they come out, they put out a better game plan on offense, and we don't have to wait for the offense to like take 3 quarters to get going like they did in this one, then they can beat the Steelers. You know, week after that, they can beat the Jets. They should be. Good Lord, you saw the way the Jets played this week. They can beat the Jets, you know. Then they got the Bears. They can beat the Bears. Steelers, it'd be crazy to imagine them sweeping them, but they could do it, you know. Then there's the Patriots, Patriots are up and down, so you never really know with that one. Then you got the Ravens, who also look bad. Then you got the Bills, but then you got the Ravens again. So I mean, it's like the potential to save the season's there, man. Why the Packers are throwing it there and they're giving the Bengals time. I mean, I guess they figured that it's going to be a pretty automatic field goal, right? But like, if the field goal gets blocked, which it got blocked against the Browns, so I don't know why you're playing with fire here. But it's going to be 4th and 2 now. Now, if the field goal goes in, it's a 10-point ball game, you know, or it's a 9-point ball game. So you kind of screwed. You know, maybe at best you can go get a quick touchdown and get like an onside kick recovery, right? But 39-yard field goal attempt, kick is up, and that's good. And there was never any doubt about it, right? So it's a 9-point ball game now. And that's pretty much it, you know? Like, maybe you like hit a Jamar Chase home run, and then like you can get you almost recovered a field goal last week. Or, an onside. You almost recovered an onside kick last week. But unfortunately, you were trusting Evan McPherson to do that, and he's a tiny human being. So, you know, it's another situation where we almost kind of come back and take this game, and just the defense falls apart when it really matters, you know? Now, last week there was also Jake Browning, you know, throwing interceptions and shit. You know, I feel pretty confident, actually, that the Bengals are going to go and get a touchdown on this drive. The problem is, I think that they're probably going to run out the rest of the clock. And the Packers are going to basically let them get the yards because they have a point cushion, right? Like, I'm pretty confident that the Bengals are going to get a touchdown on this drive. But they need a miracle. And I don't know if they have a miracle in them. I just don't know if they have a miracle in them. Why is Jake Browning warming up? Why is Jake Browning warming up? That's not what I want to see. It's going to be a touchback. Okay, and I don't know why Jake Browning was warming up, but Flacco's out there, so... Okay, well, let's see them go make this a 3-point ball game and then still lose. Another depressing Who Data versus Who Dat. Well, you know what? I'm less depressed this week than I was last week, right? Because at least I feel like I'm back to feeling like, you know, there's something to this team now, right? Like it's gonna take a big run, but they're no strangers to big runs, man. Joe Flacco's gonna throw it about for a 6-yard pass to Noah Fant. I'm not really sure what you're doing there because the clock's running. You're going to need a fucking Hail Mary, Joe. Flacco throws short once again to Samaje Perine, and they're getting the ball down the field, but like, you know, come on, and we're going to need to spike it. Like, come on. You got to pay attention to the clock. Like, I understand, but you gotta pay attention to the clock. You almost got your score right. It's 27 to... I do have the score right. It's 27-18. Oh, my prediction, yeah. Well, you know. I mean, if they get a touchdown and then they go for 2 and they miss it, then I do get my score right? So, I guess that's something, right? I'd rather be wrong and the Bengals win, but, you know, whatever. Flacco, shotgun snap. He's going to throw it short. He's got Noah Fant. And he keeps taking these short passes to Noah Fant. And, I mean, you can't clock this one because it only gives you one down left. All right, 57 seconds, 56, 55, 54. It's just like they're moving sluggishly. Flacco's going to throw it short to Pirine, and he gets out of bounds for no gain. But, hey, you stop the clock. That's basically the same thing as a fucking spike. Except you ran more time off the clock by doing that. Flacco's doing a lot of checkdowns, and I'm not liking that very much. They're going to try a long field goal with Evan McPherson. What? No. Well, okay, actually, okay. You know what? Fair enough. You know what? Why not? 56-yard attempt. He can hit that. Might as well, because if you get it, then it's 27-21, and you can still go win it with a touchdown. Might as well give yourself a shot. That's fine. Just take the fucking field goal. It's fine. I'm not sure he's gonna make it, but check down City. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing there. I think that's a Joe Flacco thing. I think that's one thing that is probably annoying about having Joe Flacco as your quarterback, as he seems more interested in doing stuff like that than trying to take the shots when you need it. But if the defense had done their job, he wouldn't needed to do that, 56-yard attempt. He's got the leg for it, but, let's see if because he almost hit the last one. Kick is up, and he's got this one. I know he missed it. Oh, man, come on. Well, that's game. God, he had it and he pushed it too far this time, man. I'm starting to lose faith in Evan McPherson, guys. Like, man, I like the guy, and he was a really exciting kicker if there's such a thing. He at one time he was an exciting kicker, but he's, man. Well, that's game, y'all. That's it. It's all she wrote. And my takeaway is that to me, it looks like the offense is a little more functional with Joe Flacco. And you're not going to be competing with the Packers of the world. And you did compete with the Packers, right? Like, you kept that game pretty close. You had a shot. But, yeah, man. My takeaway is that they took the Packers close, and now they're going to be 2-4, and that sucks. But they've got a winnable schedule after this, right? Like, they've got the Steelers. The Steelers could be tough, but and it's also going to be on a Thursday. So but it could be hard for them. A Thursday game that could also be tough for them. So, we'll see. Thursdays are always chaotic. We'll see what happens on Who Dat versus Who Dat on Thursday. You got the Jets after that. And so if you can beat the Steelers, and then you can beat the Jets, and then you can beat the Bears, and then you can beat the Steelers again. But you don't even really have to beat the Steelers again. If you like pop off 3 wins in a row there, then what's that put us at, like 6-4? So that's not too bad. Well, okay, no, 5-4. That'd put us at 5-4, and you can work with that, right? 5-4, and then you've still got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, or even if you got the Patriots, then that's 5-5 if you lose the Steelers, beat the Patriots. But then you've got 2 quick games against the Ravens, and they look bad even with Lamar Jackson. So. Those are winnable games. And then you've got the Bills, which the Bills is going to be tough. But you took the Packers close. And then at the end of the season, don't forget, it's Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. Like, quick succession. So, yeah, the 4-game losing streak sucks. The 4-game losing streak hurts. But at least you feel like you got a better chance with Joe Flacco in there than you do Jake Browning. So, that's my takeaway from it. Y'all can feel the way you want to feel, but that's my takeaway from it. You could always have Blake Groupie. Remember that guy that lived on his roof until the Bengals won a game? I do. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. His name is Wildman Walker. And interestingly enough, I'm actually going to be producing a episode about him soon. Not on my channel, but I'm the podcast producer for the Dangerous Gym Show, which is like a local musician around here, and he does his, like in his retirement, he kind of wants to do his podcast, and he hired me to produce his show. So we're going to be doing a Wildman Walker episode here, and whenever. I still got to get this other episode up, and that one I'm having some file issues with. But that one's going to be coming up. So that Wild Man. So I mean, that guy who lived on his roof. We're going to be doing an episode about that. No, I'm not. It's not going to be on my channel, but it'll be on his channel. Go Buccaneers! Did they win? Oh yeah. Because Mac Jones got hurt, right? Isn't that what happened? Or he fumbled or something? Sorry about KGM. Well, they're not going meow very often lately, man. And it's because of your boy too, John. It's because of your boy Andre Yoshvas kept dropping passes out there. We had some shots and Yoshi just kept fucking dropping them. That'll do it. The offensive effort was there for 3 quarters, but both sides have to play a complete game. That's the thing, man. And the thing that makes you feel a little bit better is at least now we can say that the offense gives you a chance, right? Like the offense wasn't great today, but they put up 18 against a solid Packers defense, right? They probably could have put up more if they had gotten the ball back, but it is what it is. The defense didn't, finish well today. They started well. And there's a lot of stuff that you feel like you can build on, which is a much, 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 much nicer place to be than we were over the last 3 weeks, where it just felt like completely useless. Like, why even bother showing up? So, like, now I've got a reason to show up. Yeah, losing to the Packers sucks. If we lose to the Steelers next week, I'm going to be upset. But at least they fucking tried, At least they came out here and they showed up and they put out a real, like, decent effort, and like there's a little bit there where I was thinking they might actually be able to pull this one off, and obviously that's not enough to get the win, and you need them to actually start pulling games off. But there's hope where there wasn't any hope before we got Joe Flacco. So I'm still cool with Joe Flacco. I'm glad to have him on the team, and I look forward to seeing what they do with him going forward. Kyle and I were talking about that guy last week or so. Who were we talking about? Mac Jones? Yeah. I've been to that guy's restaurant. Mac Jones? What is trying? Well, I'm not sure if the Saints are trying, man. I'm sure they are, but Snowman. Hey, Snowman checking in. First time listener. Now I'm a subscriber. Let's go, Snowman! Let's go. Were you part of the Grossi raid earlier? Apologies, I kind of had a fever today, so during that, apologies to me mostly, because I missed the fucking raid, but I had a little bit of a fever today, so I had to walk away from that, had to walk away from the thing for a little bit, and that just happened to be when the fucking raid happened, which was, kind of sucked, but it was also kind of cool to see. But I don't know if you were part of that raid or not, but I appreciate you subscribing. We got some content that we do. We do every Thursday night game. We do a podcast, me and Mikey, called Who Day versus Who Dat, and then I do every Bengals game by myself. Except for this upcoming Thursday, which I'll be doing with Mikey because it's during Who Day versus Who Dat. And then I do a weekly show that's like produced and everything like that, and it's been a recap show, but it's probably gonna be a preview show going forward. So just so I have a little bit more time to put it out, because trying to get it up every Wednesday is tough, and even then Wednesday's not a great time to come out with it, right? So I'm gonna start shifting a little bit more towards preview show, so it can be more of a so it can come out realistically on Thursday and be fine, right? So yep. But yeah, I'm glad you subscribed. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. Buccaneers win. I'm glad the Buccaneers win, John. John. I'm glad the Buccaneers won, John. I'm glad the Buccaneers won. I'm glad the Ravens lost. Not glad the Steelers won. But I am glad the Ravens lost, so at least there's another team in the AFC North that can share our misery. And we're not, we're still, we're still second in the AFC North. Like, the crazy thing is, we're 2-4 now, but we're still the second best team in the AFC North because the Ravens and the Browns are just that much worse right now. Like, that's crazy. That's honestly crazy. I'm not... Yeah. Was Flacco hype or nah? Well, Flacco was... Okay, look. Flacco was never going to be a Joe Burrow replacement, right? I thought Flacco was fine. You know, he wasn't... Like you're not... Like, Joe Flacco's not going to win the game for you by himself. He's not Joe Burrow. But we have Joe Burrow. He's just fucking hurt. You know, so we got to deal with not having Joe Burrow. But we had so much more of a chance to win that game with Joe Flacco at quarterback than we ever would have with Jake Browning, right? So I'm on board with Flacco. I think having Joe Flacco here is good. We're 2-4 now, and so we've got very little room left for error. But you know, with the teams left on their schedule, Joe Flacco already knows the Steelers, right? And then other than the Steelers, our schedule is not too bad. Like, we have the Bills at some point, but, you know, even disregarding the Bills, right? Like, you know, you got Steelers, Jets, Bears, Steelers, Patriots, Ravens, who are awful lately, Bills, and then the Ravens again, and then, you know, theoretically Joe Burrow comes back after that, Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. And what I saw this week was the Bengals going toe-to-toe with a very good Packers defense, and Joe Flacco doing enough to keep the team in the game, right? Like, would have been nice if the offense had gotten off to a faster start than they did, but they had a chance with Joe Flacco, and I promise you, with Jake Browning, he would have been throwing interceptions, and the Packers would have just wiped the floor with us, right? Like, you know, thinking that the Bengals were going to beat the Packers was probably, you know, probably optimistic, right? I even predicted the Packers would win this game. I even actually predicted their score right. I predicted the Bengals score wrong. But Mikey made a good point earlier that if the Bengals defense actually came through when it mattered, then there's a really good chance we could have gotten... my score could have been exactly right because, you know, the Bengals could have gotten in the end zone and then they could have missed the 2-point conversion and then it still would have ended at 27-24. And... So, I think I'm just using that as evidence to say that I think my analysis of the situation isn't completely unfounded, right? Like, does losing feel good? No. Losing does not feel good. But I do feel like that there's a chance with Flacco that we can do something interesting this year, right? Like, they might be sneaking in for a wild card at best, but that possibility exists with Flacco, right? We're 2-4. Not 0-6. So, you know, we're going to have to start putting some wins together. But to play that closely with the Packers and have a legit shot to win that game, I'm not feeling too bad about that. I'm really not. Like, I'm not feeling good about losing, but I feel better because going into this week, I had the expectation that the Bengals season was basically just over. And it's not over anymore, right? Like, there's still a chance, and it's not a high percentage chance, but there's still a chance, and that's all I want, man. I just want a reason to watch. I just want an excuse to watch the team that I love, even if it's like a long shot. At least it's a reason to watch. At least they're out there, they're doing what they can do, and yeah, losing sucks, but you know, watching that fucking defense at the end was just fucking brutal, but you at least feel like there's something there, which you didn't last week. You did not feel like there was anything there last week. Now it's like, hey, you know, if they can do that against the Packers, pretty good football team, you know, there's a pretty good chance they come out, you know, in 2 weeks and beat the Jets. Maybe they come out and they surprise the Steelers next week, right? Then if they can beat those two teams, they can beat the Bears, right? So that potentially a 3-game win streak, and then suddenly you're 4-4. And you're right back to 500, and you've still got the whole rest of the season to play. You still got, 9 more games left to play. And you're telling me that, especially with Joe Burrow potentially coming back at the end of the season, that, you know, they can't, you know, like if they build themselves momentum with a relatively easier schedule, that they can't, you know, get something done. I don't know. Like, no moral victories. But the fact that they showed some life this week made me feel a lot better than I came out of last week feeling like, what's the fucking point of watching this football team? And this week I came out of it thinking, hey, at least there's something to watch for, you know. That's I don't want to say I'm happy with the loss, but you know, I'll take that outcome over what could have happened, you know. Could have come out that Joe Flacco came out and he was just absolute fucking garbage. You know, and is Joe Flacco the best quarterback in the NFL right now? No. But he did what I thought he would do, and he didn't make any big mistakes, and he got the ball to the weapons. You know, it didn't do it as much as you would like to see, but did it enough against a good defense. And, you know, I think Joe Flacco was a good choice. I'm happy that they got Joe Flacco. I think that was a good choice. You wish the offense could have heated up faster, but they didn't. But I don't think that was Flacco's fault that they didn't, you know? At least the Ravens have a worse record. We can always laugh at the Ratbirds, man. And we can laugh at the Browns. The Browns are worse, too. You know, the Steelers are potentially going to run away with this division, but not if the Bengals get their shit together, which they could, you know? And there's the other thing. Like, if the Bengals can beat the Steelers next week, then they're within like a game of taking control of the division, right? And then they play the Steelers again 2 weeks after that. And if they can sweep the Steelers, which would be asking a lot, don't get me wrong, but if they can sweep the Steelers, they can take control of this division, you know? Like it's even I know we lost, but I at least feel like the season's open again, you know? And that's just that's better than I thought I was going to come out of this game with after the way last week went, you know? And Joe Flacco made this season more interesting at the very least. Better than Browning? Absolutely. Significantly better than what Browning's been doing. You know, obviously Browning had a good run at the end of 23, but, you know, Flacco is such an upgrade right now. Is the O-line the problem? No. O-line's not the problem. Maybe yes in terms of run blocking, because, like, you know, part of the problem is, you know, you couldn't get Chase Brown going at all, and then, you know, and then the offense becomes predictable. And you noticed when they did get the running game going in the second half, that's when the offense started waking up a little bit, right? But yeah, the offensive line is not the problem. No, I think Flacco might have taken 2 sacks, if that. I don't remember what he took, but he did. Flacco didn't get sacked a whole lot. He was pressured and more than you would like, but not, you know, not an excessive amount, you know. And then he got rid of the ball when he needed to. That's something that Jake Browning didn't do. Flacco only took 1 sack, you know. Flacco only took 1 sack, and that's partly because he got rid of the ball. Like, that's the thing. When you got a quarterback who's willing to, you know, punt on a play and live to fight another down, then you don't have this problem of constantly, you know, taking a shit ton of sacks or turning the ball over all the time. And, you know, the offense can get its shit together. Be like, well, that was a dumb play. Let's try a different one. But you can't do that if you're constantly taking sacks and then suddenly it's 2nd and 18. And if you don't get a big play on this next, if you don't get a big play on this one, then the drive's pretty much over before it started. Once Flacco got comfortable, he looked good. That's what I'm saying. Too bad it wasn't until the second half, but I got real hope going forward. That's what I'm saying, stranger. That's what I'm saying. Like, Flacco gives you hope. You know, is he like, is it, you know, godsend? Is Flacco Patrick Mahomes or even Joe Burrow? No, he's not. You know, is Flacco one of like a top 10 quarterback at this stage of his career? He's absolutely not. But he is a potential future Hall of Famer. And he does the thing that, like, Jake Browning did not do, and that was be careful with the football and, you know, live to fight another down when he needs to. And there, to some extent, I wish Joe Burrow would do that a little bit more. But Joe Burrow also doesn't throw a ton of fucking interceptions either. But obviously you want Joe Burrow, like, you take Joe Burrow over Joe Flacco any fucking day. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, real hope. Like, there's a reason to watch this team. And are they going to get it done? No. But at least it's worth fucking watching now, you know? And hopefully they don't make me eat my words next week and they come out and they, you know, hopefully beat the Steelers. Like, they really need a fucking win, and beating the Steelers would be huge, right? I don't know if I can predict them to win, because until they show that they're going to fucking win, I don't know if I can predict that. But I will say the way the Steelers have been looking vulnerable this year. They've been winning, but I mean, like the way they took them forever to get going against the Browns today, and then they eventually pulled away and won that game. But they looked vulnerable in that game. The Vikings, it took kind of a Vikings collapse at the end. That also took the Vikings coming back in that game, but. The point being, they didn't run away with that game against the Vikings. They almost lost that game. The Patriots, that game was probably a lot closer for comfort than they felt like. Right? Like the Jets, they let the Jets drop 32 on them, man. So I don't know. Like the Browns looked awful against the Steelers, right? But like the Steelers didn't look that great through most of the game against the Browns. So why can't we beat them next week? Why can't we beat them next week? That's the question I ask you. Why can we not beat the Steelers next week? Right? And if we do beat the Steelers next week, then we're 3-4. And you know what? 3-4 doesn't feel too bad. Obviously, starting 2-0, you really 3-4 sounds pretty dumb. But if you just take the context out, you're 3-4. You're like one game behind the division. You're solidly in second place. So, I'm just saying beat the Steelers next week, and it feels a lot better. And, like, with Joe Flacco, he's like, you get the feeling that maybe you can beat the Steelers. Because we definitely have better weapons than they do. We've got the best weapons in the AFC North, and possibly the best weapons in the whole NFL. Yoshi needs to not be dropping fucking balls, but, for the most part, it's like we got the tools to beat the Steelers next week. Why can't we beat the Steelers next week? And if we beat the Steelers, we can beat the Jets. If we beat the Jets, we can beat the Bears. Okay, so if we beat the Steelers, we can beat the Bears. And if we beat the Steelers, we can beat the Steelers again, right? We could go on a 4-game win streak, and we could be 5-4 here in a couple of weeks. Why not? And then we play the Patriots after that. If we beat all those teams, we can beat the fucking Patriots, right? Patriots didn't look so great against the Saints today, and they got it done at the end, but arguably they got it done with a bit of extracurricular referee bullshit at the end, too. Then you got the Ravens, who are not good this year. You got the Bills, who you can afford to lose a game at that point. And then you got the Ravens again, right? And then Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. And at that point, you might have Joe Burrow back. So, I'm just saying, if they look better to the point where they're having a real shot to beat the Green Bay Packers like they did today, then why the fuck can't they go on a run? Like, why can't they go on a run with the relatively easy schedule? Like, why not? Why not? Why not the Bengals? Why can't they do it? I don't know. I shouldn't feel this good after a loss, but compared to what I've been dealing with, maybe you can understand why I feel less sad after this loss than I have after other losses that we've had recently. Did they score more points today than they have since Burrow went down? No, they did not. That was not. It's not quite comparable though, like, right? So like today we scored 18, which was the most that we've scored other than the Lions game. But don't forget the Lions game, the only reason that we had that score line is because we had that flurry there at the end, because Jake Browning's gambling finally paid off. But let's see, it was 35-17. I'm sorry. When the flurry started, it was 28-10. Bengals down 28-3 in the third quarter, and Mikey likes talking about that. But the Lions were up 28-3 at the end of the third quarter, and then the Bengals in the fourth quarter, they kind of had a flurry, and they did something that maybe seemed like maybe something was going to happen. But again, the defense doesn't come through when it really matters the most. And it's like, yeah, that's great that you had a good game up to that point, but you got to play well in the fourth quarter. And if you don't, then it's all fucking meaningless, right? So there was the Lions game where we put up 24 points, but that was a weird 24 points that we put up against the Lions. Whereas against the Packers, I mean, I know a lot of that was at the end of the game, but it just had a different feel to it. This whole game, it felt like the Bengals offense was just lagging, but if they could get it together, then they'd figure it out, right? You didn't get that in the Lions game. The fact that the Bengals started suddenly scoring points at first was like, well, it's garbage time. And it's like, oh, hey, there's points, right? But that was weird, right? It wasn't weird when the Bengals started scoring in this one. So it's like that was by far the most encouraging offensive performance we've seen since Joe Burrow went down, which is depressing. Maybe you could say, the way they played at the end of the game against the Jaguars, but then again, the 3 turnovers with Jake Browning did not feel good. But yeah, it's definitely not the most points that we've scored, but it is the second most points that we've scored since Joe Burrow went down. And the only reason for that is because we got an extra touchdown against the Lions, but we also let up 37 points against the Lions too. So the extra touchdown really meant nothing. So yes, that was the best game the Bengals have played since Joe Burrow went down, unless you want to count the end of the Jaguars game, right? But that was definitely the best game the Bengals have played. And honestly, if the defense plays a full football game, like all 4 quarters, and they play the way they're supposed to, and they don't just like turn it off in the second half like they did today, then you're looking at potentially that being a win for the Bengals, right? Maybe the score's flipped. Maybe not 27-18, but maybe if the defense does their jobs when it really matters, then maybe that's like, the Bengals winning 27-24. A flip of what I said, right? Instead of the 27-18 scoreline that we actually got. So I don't know what you really say, but yes, that was the least pissed off I've been, and the least hopeless I felt about this team since Joe Burrow went down. That definitely was. So hopefully Joe Flacco gets in the film room and they can build on what they did today. They come out and they can go on a run, right? Because, it's not a particularly tough schedule, man. We just played 2 of the hardest teams on our schedule in the Packers and the Lions, and we came away better than you maybe thought we would have if you understand how this team, frankly, should have finished those games, especially if Jake Browning's the quarterback, right? So it's not good to lose 4 in a row, but I feel better. Oddly enough, I feel better after the 4th loss than I did after the 3rd loss, right? And I maybe even felt a little better after the 3rd loss than I did after the 2nd loss. Not that much, because I wasn't that happy after the 3rd. And I'm not happy right now, but I'm not ready to give up. Which I was about ready to give up after that Lions game. I'm like, what are we even doing? But now I'm like, hey, fuck it, baby. Let's just go out there and see what we can do, Why not? You heard the Josh Hines Allen story with his daughter. What happened to Josh Hines Allen? I heard apparently his son has cancer. What's up with his daughter, though? I don't see anything about his daughter. His son's got cancer. I don't see anything about his daughter. That sucks, though. We had a guy like that, Devin Still, but he wasn't as good of a player as Josh Hines Allen, so it was pretty much that story was the only thing that ever really, meant anything for his career here. Devin Still, I can't remember if I said that or not. Maybe Jason Realm, a Steelers fan, just saying the KGM O-line was the problem. He did not think Flacco would be much better than Browning. Judging by the score, it's not Burrow, but Flacco is better than Browning. Yeah, Flacco is better than Browning. It's an upgrade. He's not out there throwing 3 or 4 picks every goddamn game. The offensive line, people talk shit about the offensive line, but the offensive line's pass blocking isn't that bad. It's the run blocking that's real bad. The run blocking is awful, and it really wasn't much better today. But the pass blocking is not too bad, and it gave Joe Flacco a shot, right? And honestly, if the Bengals get the ball back, I guarantee you that they get a touchdown, right? Because that's the way the offense was going. And if it hadn't been near the end of the game, they probably would have gotten a touchdown on that last drive too, the last drive that they had. But they settled for the field goal because they, might as well. But the play calling would have been so much different if they didn't feel like settling for a field goal was worth it, right? Then again, the clock management was weird if they were planning on going for the field goal, right? I don't know. Steelers 11-6. The way they're playing, that's quite possible. I hope not, but it's quite possible. Beating the Squealers might be Bell-Schuster big. Bell-Schuster, like the hit? You talking about the hit? Because that was a pretty cool hit. Yeah, but see, the thing is, like I feel like the Steelers are a lot more beatable than their record would indicate, right? Because you look back at the way that they've won those games, and it's like, they're cutting it close every single time. And this is the way the Steelers play football, and it's annoying as hell. But if we can handle their defense, which, their defense is up and down, right? So if we can handle their defense, then we might have a shot to win this football game, right? Because, it's not like we can't play well against Aaron Rodgers. We've done it before, Not with the Steelers, but Browning only got 3 points almost 2 games. In the last game, they got scoring going. I think 18 is a respectable score for a losing team. Right, yeah. Like I said, if they had gotten the ball back, it wouldn't have been 18. It would have been 24 or 25, And they didn't. So shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. But that was almost the best offensive output by the non-Joe Burrow Bengals since Joe Burrow went down. And like as far as the Jaguars game goes, don't forget when Joe Burrow went down, the Bengals had already scored 17 points? It might have been 14. It's 14 or 17 points. So Jake Browning, credit to Jake Browning for coming together and finishing off that game. But he also threw 3 damn interceptions. No, I'm sorry, he threw 2 interceptions, and then I think he fumbled as well. But he turned the ball over 3 times, and they still managed to get to 31 points, which was incredible. But it doesn't always work that way, and he found that out the hard way, trying to keep playing the same way the rest of the season. It didn't work. It wasn't a good idea. Don't get too much hope. Dude, I gotta have some hope to keep watching this team, right? I'm not saying we're about to go win the Super Bowl or whatever, but what I am saying is that if we can, this was proof of concept to me. This was proof that if you put Joe Flacco in, then that maybe helps. And that if the defense can do better than they did today, when it really matters, which I guess they haven't all season to be fair. But, with a little bit more refinement, this team can beat most teams, maybe right now, beating the Packers, beating the Bills, those are some tall tasks, right? Beating the Lions, tall task, right? I get it. But here's the thing. I think if we had Joe Flacco, then we beat the Vikings potentially, right? If we have Joe Flacco, then I think we potentially, I don't know if we beat the Broncos, but I think that it's a lot closer game with the Broncos, right? If Joe Flacco was the quarterback for the last couple of weeks, then you're feeling a lot better about Joe Flacco being the quarterback, right? Yeah, the Bengals lost today, but it wasn't Joe Flacco's fault that they lost today. It was, frankly, the running game's fault, and it was the defense's fault for, teasing us with a good performance throughout decent parts of the game, but then fucking it up at the end when it really mattered, right? So yeah. Hey, Mikey, thanks for taking care of that bot. Will Burrow be back versus Buffalo? No, I don't. Probably not. I doubt it. Almost certainly not. No, because that would be. I'd be 2 weeks earlier than what they were saying was the optimistic take. So he could. It's possible he could be back for the Bills game, but I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it. Especially if we keep losing, because if we can put together a bit of a run, then maybe it's possible. But then again, if we put together a bit of a run, then maybe you just see what Flacco's got until you're sure that Joe Burrow's healthy enough, right? 28-3. Yeah, well, we still lost that game though. The Bengals started scoring versus the Lions when the Lions secondary got injuries. That's part of it too, right? The Lions got injured, and also it was garbage time. They didn't really care anymore. Whereas this Packers game, that was just they figured it out. That's what I've been saying all years. If they can just figure it out, then they'll be much better. And they looked like they figured it out today. Now, are they going to have it figured out at the start of next game? No, probably not. But maybe it takes them less time to figure it out next week. And maybe the defense, does a little bit better. I don't know. What's hope? It's something I've got to look for right now, Mikey, but we kind of have it. Fred Warner's out for the season. That's not good. Graham Evans says, go, Pat, go. Hey, good game. Good game. We had a shot and we couldn't take it. But good game to the Packers. You know what? Respect. And I respect that effort. The Packers got it done. I know y'all were kind of, scared a little bit all week that Joe Flacco was going to beat you again. Which would have been a long shot. But hey, they did better than I thought they would, man. So all I got to say is good game. And I'm not nearly as broken up about this one as I have been the last couple of weeks. So, respect to the Packers, honestly. His son was a captain. Oh, is that what happened? That's pretty cool. So the run blocking is the problem. The run blocking is one of the biggest problems. I wouldn't say the run blocking is the only problem, but the run blocking is definitely one of the biggest problems for sure. Yoshi was a problem today with all his fucking drops. Yoshi was a problem. But one of the biggest problems is the run blocking. It's not the only one, but it's one of them. I think Rodgers is proving that the Jets just suck. Well, maybe. I think we all know that, too. I think we're all pretty aware that the Jets suck. Hello, Luger. We lost today. Sad. Bengals need to bench Cam Taylor-Britt. Yeah, I think they do. They benched him, and then he was like, I'm mad about being benched. I'm going to do better now. And then he just continues being bad. I agree. Cam Taylor-Britt. Here's the thing. Cam Taylor-Britt, it sucks because Cam Taylor-Britt doesn't need to be a number one corner. Cam Taylor-Britt needs to be a number two corner, and we need a number one corner. We don't have a number one corner on this team. Our secondary is trash. Our safety play is inconsistent at best. We don't have a number one corner. Part of the problem you have with the pass rush is that they don't have any time to get to the quarterback, because by the time that they actually get to the guy, there's already 14 guys open. We need a shutdown number one corner to come in and help, because Cam Taylor-Britt's not getting it done as the number one guy. I think he'd do better as the number two guy. Maybe it'd be better to have DJ Turner in as the number two guy. I don't know. If you've got a shutdown corner, if you've got a true shutdown corner number one, maybe DJ Turner can be the number two guy, because he seems to play ancillary pretty okay, but he's also not going to get the job done by himself. So playing behind Cam Taylor-Britt might be hurting him. Better game by the Bengals, but it's not enough. Nope. It's not enough. Not enough. But it's better enough that it makes me feel like there's something there, right? There's something to watch. I don't feel like we're the worst team or one of the worst teams in the NFL right now, right? With Joe Flacco, it feels like we're somewhere around we'll see what Mikey does with his power rankings, right? But we'll somewhere around 16, 17, 18. I think that's where the Bengals are right now with Joe Flacco. We'll see what Mikey says, but I no longer am trying to make the argument that the Bengals are the 28th, 29th, whatever, best football team, because they at least looked competent today. It at least looked like they belonged in the same league today, And that was so much better. Yoshi, yeah, I know that's your boy, but he was a big fucking problem today, dude. Cam Taylor-Britt was good precisely because he was behind Cheeto Uzie. Exactly! That's what I'm saying. We need another guy. Our secondary has been trash since Cheeto Uzie, in fairness, since Cheeto Uzie stopped being good, because he started playing awful. And we needed to move on from him. But the problem is we didn't replace him with anybody any good. No number one corner buddies. Yay. Maybe we can go get, what's his name? The Marshawn Lattimore, right? Maybe he'll play better for us. Who knows? Y'all probably going up in my rankings. That's, oddly enough, I think they should. But that's partially because prior to this point, they should have been really far down, but now with Joe Flacco, it looks a little bit better, right? Like there's are they going to make the playoffs this year? I don't know. At 2-4, it's hard to imagine, but it's easier to imagine this week at 2-4 than it was last week at 2-3, which is just that's the crazy thing. We lost the game, and it felt like we gained hope, right? Like that's wild. No moral victories, and those guys in the locker room do not. And they're not going to. They're not going to be like, oh, well, at least we lost respectably this week. They're not going to feel that way, nor should they. But as a fan, I can at least say that I feel like we got a shot with Joe Flacco. And his first game was against the Green Bay Packers and their, high-powered offense and really, really potentially very good defense, right? So we took one of the most talented teams in the NFL toe-to-toe this week, and we couldn't get it done, but we had a real shot to win that one. And it's really, honestly, when Joe Flacco's your quarterback because Joe Burrow got hurt, that's all you can really ask for, is that this team is going to have a chance to win every week. And that's how I feel. Every week on the rest of the schedule, I once again feel, and I lost the faith. I did. But now, once again, I feel like every single game the rest of the season, yeah, we can win that game, right? The Bills game's going to be tough. The Bills game's going to be tough. But look at what the Patriots did, man. Like, we could beat the Bills. I would be pretty surprised if I don't think I'll pick the Bengals to beat the Bills. I'm not picking the Bengals to beat the Steelers next week, but even if they go on a run, I don't know if I'm going to pick them to beat the Bills. But they could beat the Bills. I wouldn't be completely shocked if they did, I'd be pretty shocked if they won every game the rest of the season, right? But, like, any of those individual games, I don't think I'd be surprised if they won. Lattimore sucks now. And, well, so does Cam Taylor-Britt as a number one. You could beat us too. Oh, yeah, and I know we could beat you guys, Mikey. I'm very aware that we could beat the Saints. Like, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about beating the Bills, and I'm concerned that they're going to beat enough teams to make the playoffs at this point because they are 2-4, and so now you've basically got like 3 more. You can afford like maybe 3 more losses the whole rest of the season, right? Like, you got to win almost all the rest of your games. You can afford to lose like 3 games, right? And so the Bills game, that's one. Potentially you can split with the Steelers. And then there's like a third one in there, right? Which I would wager to say that you're probably not going to sweep the Ravens even if they're not very good, right? Cuz I don't know how long Lamar Jackson's out, but I don't think it's going to be until the second time that we play them. Apparently, he is expected to return after the Ravens bye, which I don't even know when that is, but I guess I could figure that out pretty easily. Our bye week is late in the season, which is rough, but it is what it is. The Ravens bye is, let's see. So they play the 26th. Oh, okay. So they're on bye next week. So that's a thing. But they weren't even really looking that great with Lamar Jackson. So like the idea that we could beat them twice is out there, Like maybe we don't beat them once and that would suck, but at the same time, if we win other games, then we can afford to lose them twice, but we're really running out of room now, but we just need 5 wins. We just need 5 wins, and before Joe Burrow gets back. And the problem is we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What the hell? Oh, I'm on the Ravens schedule. That's why. So before Joe Burrow potentially comes back, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games potentially until Joe Burrow comes back. So we basically, if we can potentially go 5-3 in that stretch, if the team's going to play like this, then we can potentially go 5-3 in the next 8 games. I mean, like, it'd be tough, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, right? And then to be fair, when Joe Burrow comes back, then you gotta go 3-0 against the Dolphins and the Cardinals and the Browns, which none of which are good football teams, but you never know. You know, and also with Joe Burrow, just, you know, he might be rusty, and you never know what's going to happen at that point. But I'm just saying, you know, to give yourself a shot to make the playoffs, you just got to win 5 games, right? And I still think they can win 5 games. I do. I didn't last week. Now that we got Joe Flacco, and we see that Joe Flacco's, you know, still a halfway decent quarterback. You know, he's maybe not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Joe Burrow, but he's better than Jake Browning. I believe we can win 5 games of our next 8. It'd be tough, but we could do it. I don't see why we can't. You know, I don't see why we can't. Life is pain. People who say Rattler sucks are idiots. Well, obviously he's been pretty decent. You know, I mean, he's not like a world beater, but he's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I'm finally caught up with the comments here. I'm gonna head out. It's weird not feeling completely depressed after the Bengals lose their 4th game in a row, but it's obviously not great. But at least I feel like there's still a path to doing something, right? So I'm gonna go for now. You know, maybe go to bed a little bit earlier than I normally do. But for now, I'll leave y'all, even though we lost, as always, with a hoo-day!